Peoria City Council meeting will now come to order. Please rise for a moment of quiet reflection and the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilmember Hunt. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The clerk will please call the roll.
Mayor Carlett.
Here.
Vice Mayor Finn. Councilmember Patena.
Here.
Councilmember Bensbacher.
Here.
Councilmember Edwards.
Here.
Councilmember Hunt.
Here.
And Councilmember Dunn.
Here.
Good evening and welcome to the Peoria City Council meeting of May 5th, 2020. We will begin with a presentation this evening. In an effort to bring awareness to the growing mental health concerns in young adults, I will read a proclamation followed by a short video by the Peoria Youth Advisory Board. This proclamation says, whereas the mayor and council of the city of Peoria recognize the Peoria Youth Advisory Board for their efforts and dedication in addressing young adult mental health concerns, and whereas the Peoria Youth Advisory Board is working in collaboration with other West Valley Youth Commissions. And whereas this collaborative work provides support and resources to peers facing and striving to overcome the challenges before them. And whereas during the month of May, Peoria Youth Advisory Board members will utilize social media platforms to create public service announcements, video messaging, words of affirmation, and resource links for information about young adults' mental health awareness. Now, therefore, I, Kathy Carlett, Mayor of the City of Peoria in the state of Arizona, do hereby proclaim May 2020 as Peoria Young Adult Mental Health Awareness Month. And now we will watch a short video from the Youth Advisory Board.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Brighton Greathouse, and I serve on Peoria's Youth Advisory Board.
My name is Madeline Stuckey, and I serve on the Peoria Youth Advisory Board.
My name is Dominique Van Winkle.
My name is Leah Gilbertson.
Cassidy Gatris.
My name is Sanvi Tiwari.
My name is Madison Presmick, and I serve on the Peoria's Youth Advisory Board.
I'm with you today in efforts to bring awareness to the growing young adult mental health concern facing members of our community.
The Youth Advisory Board, in collaboration with other West Valley Youth Commissions,
will work together to bring awareness, support, and resources to young adults and youth.
During the month of May, the Youth Advisory Board will be utilizing social media to share PSAs, positive messages, and suggestions to stay active and where to get resources.
We request your support in these efforts by declaring May 2020 as Young Adult Mental Health Awareness Month.
Mayor and Council, thank you for the continued support.
Thank you for the continued support.
Thank you for the continued support.
Mayor and Council, thank you for your continued support of the Youth Advisory Board and our initiatives to support the youth of Peoria.
Our Youth Advisory Board is so amazing and talented, and it's so wonderful the projects that they take on. You know, I'm very, very impressed with them. So we thank them for that. And we will now move on to the consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine or have been previously reviewed by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion unless a council member requests an item to be removed and considered in the normal sequence on the agenda. As in other council meetings up to this time during this COVID emergency, we have no public activity here in our council chambers this evening. Residents have been encouraged to view this meeting live via Facebook at City of Peoria AZ, YouTube at Digital Peoria, Cox Channel 11, or CenturyLink Channel 8509. Residents with comments or questions regarding items on this agenda may submit them via Facebook or email to cityclerk2@peoriaaz.gov. Individuals on premises may submit comments by completing a speaker request form provided outside the city council chambers, which will then be conveyed by the city clerk. I have not received any speaker request forms or comments or questions regarding agenda-sized items. Council, are there any items to be removed from consent? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. City Clerk, would you please poll the council?
Councilmember Patena.
Yes.
Councilmember Binsbacher.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Finn.
Yes.
Councilmember Edwards.
Yes.
Councilmember Hunt.
Yes.
Councilmember Dunn.
Yes.
And Mayor Carlett.
Yes, and the consent agenda passes unanimously. And we will now adjourn our regular meeting to our budget study session. This meeting will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Carlett.
Here.
Vice Mayor Finn. Councilmember Patena. Councilmember Binsbacher.
Here.
Councilmember Edwards. Councilmember Hunt.
Here.
Councilmember Dunn.
Here.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the Peoria City Council special meeting of May 5th, 2020. Our agenda consists of one item, and that is the fiscal year 2021 budget study session. Before I turn it over to our city manager to kick it off, I just want to preface it by saying that this has been a very unusual year. I think we can all agree that we were not expecting to be working in the midst of a pandemic at this time. When we started this year, our revenues looked great. You know, we were zooming up to the top of all of the wish lists and goals that we had for the city of Peoria. And then we stopped, and then everything stopped. You know, the great news is during this time, we have seen our residents and our businesses just pull together and everybody stand up and do what was right for the greater good. And it was wonderful to see that, and it made me really, really proud of the residents and businesses that we have in the city. I'm a very proud mayor, no doubt about that. But as the businesses had to close, those revenues that come in from those businesses' sales tax fund everything that we do in the city of Peoria. You know, I know that there are other states that get most of their revenues from property taxes and other sources, but in Arizona, cities get the majority of their revenue from sales tax. So when somebody doesn't buy a shirt or doesn't buy a car, then we do not have the normal funding that we would expect to have at this time of year or at budget time. So having said that, tonight we are going to begin a budget that is flat. It does not take into consideration a lot of new things, a lot of new amenities or personnel or any of those kinds of things. We're just going to start from a very cautious point of view. But the good news is, in the city of Peoria, we have always been a very fiscally sound city. We are prudent, we are careful, and we do that on a regular basis, just naturally. That's who we are as a city. And so when emergencies happen, we are prepared. We are ready, and we're not surprised, and we're able to take these things into stride and handle them. So a storm may have come across our country, our world, but we're able to handle storms very well in the city of Peoria. So with that, we will begin our budget study session, and I'll turn it over to our city manager, Jeff Tyne.
Great. Thank you, Mayor and Council. And I think the Mayor really has appropriately reflected on how we are approaching this budget in fiscal year 2021, which starts July 1st. Just as for those that are watching to be aware that the budget itself is one of the most important roles that we have in the management of government. It is the key policy document that your city council uses going forward. So much more than just a financial exercise, it reflects the values of the community. It also reflects the goals of our council as we go forward. So as a result of that, this really becomes what is truly a months-long process to look at the economic factors, to look at the different cost drivers that are coming in, and then express the priorities that our city council has as we develop that budget, and then going through the departments to develop that. So when you have a months-long process that goes like that, and all of a sudden a global pandemic hits, that creates a little bit of a unique kind of situation. And needless to say, what that means is when you have that, a significant economic event that occurs this late in the budget process, that means that we'll have to likely adjust. And so as we talked about in our last sessions, it is expected that we will be coming back to you very frequently to talk about the fiscal year 21 budget, but we need to start somewhere, and that starts with what we call the original budget that we have here. This original budget is still very important because it offers a glimpse. It offers a glimpse in how we are configured as an organization, where our money is allocated, where it goes to, and of course, how we sense the priorities of this organization going forward. So we do find that this is a great starting point with the knowledge that there is more to come, as the mayor had mentioned. Thank you. Next slide. And so just a bit of the schedule for tonight. We're fortunate enough to go through, there's two different components to the budget that we primarily talk about. The operating budget that supports your day-to-day operations of the city, and the capital budget, the large financed, usually infrastructure and facilities. Very different skill sets, very different aspects to it. We are fortunate enough to have our deputy city managers to prepare for you the operating budget. So they'll start with what we call the program summary by these different categories. From there, we have our resident expert in Adina Lund, our engineering director, who can provide you an overview of the capital improvement program. Now, to be clear, the capital budget is the first year of a 10-year balanced capital improvement program, which we're very proud of, and it really reflects to the mayor's point about how we really do look at the long term when we make our decisions. Lastly, what we did want to offer as well is an early glimpse of the financial forecast that we see going forward. So we had talked in the last session about what we're seeing from the economic factors that come in. We know that there's a lot of uncertainty on what's going forward, but we can give you a sense, a glimpse of what we're looking at in the general fund for the longer term in the operating forecast. So we want to make sure that you know that what we're looking at, we think that these kinds of financial forecasts are very important because it gives us a sense of our financial footing long term. It gives us time to prepare for the things that we see that are coming up. And in this case, what we'll want to do is talk about what that shows, and then just discuss those long-term trends and offer some of the plan practices that we have to make sure that we stay structurally sound like we're known for. Thank you. So just a couple of quick items to be aware of in the budget summary that we wanted to let you know. The mayor had mentioned that this is a baseline level budget, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, but this is essentially a flat budget with no new authorized positions that are included within that. At the same time, there is no adjustment that we are proposing to our tax rates. The sales tax rate for the city remains at 1.8. The property tax rates combined at only $1.44. We're very competitive in those specific areas, and we are proposing something that works within that. At the same time as well, we have different enterprises that are supported as well, such things as our solid waste, water, and wastewater. We did have proposed slight almost inflationary level increases that were proposed, but with council direction, as you're aware, we are looking to defer those rate increases until January of 2021. But what you will see in this budget, and as you'll hear from your deputy city managers and engineering director, is that this supports the council priorities. Of course, we had our council retreat to go through your council goals. We'll be referring to those in the presentation as we go ahead, but that is something that we want to continue to follow through as we go ahead on this. As we've talked about, it's a good reminder to know that this is not the first time that you have been talking about this budget, especially after the winter break. You can see that we focused so much on the budgetary activity that surfaces in our major operating departments. In November of 2019, you received a very broad financial and economic update, followed by that by, you can see, very good, robust discussions about the operations, trends and conditions and challenges going forward for each of our major departments. And that culminates with the budget study session that you see here, which is a recommended city manager's budget for you to consider. This is one document that you have, and of course all of you have access to the much broader line item detailed budget. But hopefully what you have here is a good overview of what, how we look at our budget, how we measure success, and what we see going forward, and we'll talk about that shortly. So I think from that, I was going to pass it over to Barry Haug, our budget manager, to go through the presentation, kind of be our ringleader today.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. When we begin building a budget each year, whether it's good times or not so good times, the foundation stays the same. We use the council-adopted principles of sound financial management, and these policies have been in place for many years. And because we strictly adhere to them, we are in a strong position financially as we prepare to address the current economic challenge. Just a few of the most important budget principles we have listed. When we look at our ongoing operations, we avoid using one-time revenues or debt to fund them. We match those ongoing expenditures with ongoing revenues. We maintain a healthy reserve, and this will help us in times like now. Having reserves to bridge a short-term gap will allow us to take time to better gauge the financial condition. So if we do use them, we would only use them as a short-term solution and plan to replace them within 3 years per our principles. We need to make sound strategic decisions. We do this by using the 5-year forecast in all of our operations and a 10-year forecast for our CIP program. And as Jeff said earlier, that has served us well in the past. The budget we are proposing totals $665 million, and that's about $5 million less than last year's budget. So that's a 0.75 reduction overall. When we break it down, the capital program is about $233 million for that first year, and that's about a 9% decrease over the 20 plan. Then we have our debt service at $42 million and our contingency appropriation at $75 million. And just as a reminder, contingency is that budget appropriation for those unforeseen events, and it's backed by our reserves and revenues that we receive. The largest portion is the operating budget at $113 million. This is basically the same amount as last year, and it's what we were calling our original budget or baseline budget, similar to what the mayor had mentioned earlier. So what do we mean by a baseline budget? We went back to the base budget from FY20, with one exception being compensation increases. We kept the budget authority for those increases, not knowing at the time our complete financial picture or the measures to be taken over the next few months. So the plan is to change the budget once these decisions for compensation and other adjustments have been made. And we will discuss in more detail at the end of this presentation how we plan to do that. The FTE count, as Jeff said, is staying the same, and there are no new positions in the budget. So included are limited supplementals, and those are those items above our base budget. But we use the following criteria for those. They are mainly funded with one-time funding, or one-time requests we call them. A few are federally or state mandated. Many of them are repeats from the prior year to maintain our service levels or replace our existing assets. And others are revenue offsets through our charges and fees that we charge. So now let's look at our city's general fund. This is the largest operating fund in the city. And in developing our 5-year financial forecast, we start by looking at our revenues. This chart shows the different types of revenues that support our general fund. And similar to what the mayor said earlier, what really jumps out at you is when you look at this chart is the majority of those general fund revenues are really economically sensitive. In other words, these are the revenues that fluctuate with changes in our overall economy and the consumer spending. Those revenues are our city sales tax, which you can see at 28%, and our state shared sales tax and income taxes at 31%. These would probably be the hardest hit areas due to the pandemic. In the other areas, we have the fees and charges at 14%. And a quick note, as the mayor mentioned already too, the property tax is just a small portion of the general fund at 3%, and that's very common in Arizona. All right, so looking at our general fund expenditures by service area, you can see the public safety on the left side of the graph there makes up about 54% of our total general fund budget. And if you took out some of the revenue offsets, it would be even higher. The areas that have those revenue offsets are our development and engineering area, our parks, rec, and community facilities, and our neighborhood and human services. Those departments are on the right and make up about 25% of that budget. But a really important takeaway is that about 3/4 of the general fund is in the category called personnel services, which include our salaries, insurance, retirement costs for the city. And this becomes important as we prepare to slow down and reduce those expenditures. And as seen earlier in the graph, the first year of the capital improvement plan, or our CIP, is a large component of the overall budget at 35%. And these capital improvements are important to our community. The proposed 10-year CIP totals $783 million, and that's about a 4% increase over last year's plan. Because the funding sources for their CIP are mostly one-time by nature, we haven't really made any significant adjustments to what we're going to propose before the coronavirus pandemic. However, we are watching these revenues closely and are expected to make adjustments over the next year, especially where there are significant operation and maintenance costs involved. But in the meantime, any request to proceed on new capital projects will be closely scrutinized by the executive team and the budget office to ensure that we have a financial capacity to go forward in those projects. Adina Lund, our engineering director, will be providing more detail on the capital projects later tonight. With that, before I turn it over to our deputy city managers to go over the department overviews, I wanted to quick review the format of the budget workbooks that were delivered to your offices a few weeks ago, and the public copy was available on the city's website on April 26. The format is very similar to last year. We have the city manager message followed by department overviews focusing on those operating budgets, and then that'll be the next presentation area. Then the capital improvement section with reports showing the detailed projects within our CIP. And as Jeff said, if that wasn't enough, we have a separate book that includes our line item detail, showing every account by division. For those interested in that, that's 881 more pages that you can read at your leisure, I guess. With that, I'll turn it over to the Deputy City Manager, Andy Granger.
Thank you, Barry. Before I start, I'd just like to acknowledge all of our directors in the audience who are prepared to answer any detailed questions on their operating budgets and acknowledge them for their hard work over the last couple of months in putting this budget together. They were instrumental in helping us in the budget department in that aspect. With that, I'm going to start with the administration departments. The administration departments are comprised of the city attorney's office, the municipal court, city clerk, finance and budget, human resources, information technology, non-departmental operations, and Office of Communications. And all of these departments are internal operations to the city and are instrumental in helping more of our external departments such as Public Works, Police, Fire, and Water Services. The administration departments make up, the staffing of all of these departments is 206 FTEs and a budget of $70.5 million. Of that budget, 32% is comprised of personnel costs and 60% is contractual services. Of the contractual services, that includes $26.2 million for our self-insured areas of risk management, health insurance, and workers' compensation. So we really concentrate on those areas to minimize those cost increases because it can make a big impact on our budget. These areas are funded primarily through general fund and internal service charges, which are charges to other departments for these departments. Although not nearly as visible as other departments in the city, departments covered under this section are focused on maintaining superior public service, a council goal, to both internal and external customers of the city. And with that, I'll go through some of the notable budget items for these departments. And primarily, this year, they happen to fall in the city clerk's office and the IT department. First, we'll go through the primary and general elections supplemental. As you know, there is a major election this fall, the U.S. presidential election, but we also have 3 council district elections, and our general plan is up for ratification on the general election ballot. Our proposed budget has $182,000 for the fall primary and general elections to fund our local portion of these elections. We also have $100,000 proposed in the budget for redistricting to respond to the 2020 census results, which we expect to receive next spring. We intend to start the process this fall so that we can be ready for the census results and so that council can adopt new district boundaries by August of 2021. And that will allow us time for signature collections for candidates for the 2022 elections. In IT, we are working on the
Excuse me, Andy, do you mind if I interrupt you for a second? With regards to the pandemic, I believe that the collection for the census has been delayed. So it's possible, is it possible that all of this will be delayed and might not fall into this budget year?
It will, and if that happens, then we would just carry over this funding to the following year. Whenever we get the census results, that's when we'll start the redistricting process, as far as the meat of the redistricting process.
Okay, thanks.
And hopefully that doesn't impact elections. If it does, then we'll react to that as we need to also.
It could. Yeah, thanks.
The next supplemental is additional software and hardware maintenance. In IT, we are working on the transition to Office 365 over the next few months. This cloud-based product will allow employees to access email, their calendar, and file systems from anywhere. As we move to more of our systems to the cloud, we will continue to see increases in licensing costs, but lower hardware costs. This year, we have $105,000 in one-time costs and $146,000 in ongoing licensing and hardware maintenance costs for our existing systems. And lastly, we are proposing a new payment card industry firewall to replace our existing firewall system, which is outdated and needs to be replaced. This equipment is vital to protecting the electronic forms of payment and information that we receive from our customers. As you can see, most of our budget requests for these departments are to enhance customer service through technology enhancements and regulatory requirements. And that concludes our proposed budget for the administrative departments. And we can take any questions that you have at this time.
Council, any questions? I'm really glad that you brought attention to exactly what is included in administration, because sometimes that word on its own seems like it's discretionary. And these are absolutely not discretionary costs or needs or charges. They're all really important, so I appreciate you calling out exactly what they are.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm going to speak next on the Leadership and Management Department. And I wanted to start with that the Leadership and Management Department includes the mayor and council, as well as the city manager's office, the governmental affairs office, and our real estate development office. Those divisions include a staff, I guess I can move it here. Those divisions include a staff of about 19 FTE, does not include the mayor and council. I did something wrong here. There we go. And their core service is really to support the implementation of your council goals by coordinating internal and external services for our citizens, engaging in local, regional, and national coalition building, and advocating on behalf of the city. So these departments really do a lot of that work for the council and for the city. 80% of the total budget is personnel costs, and 19% is contractual, which includes primarily internal service charges and membership dues and training associated with these. The leadership and management departments are funded through the general fund and through internal service charges. Some notable budget items this year are very similar to what you've seen in past years, which include one-time funding for our state and federal representation and protection of Luke Air Force Base, as well as funding to support some pre-development work and technical reports work on strategic sites throughout the city. And with that, I can answer any questions related to the leadership and management. There's not too much there.
Council, any questions, comments? No, and our other council members who are joining us electronically, I cannot see you, so if you need to say anything, just speak up. Thank you. Okay, I think we're good.
Okay, I'm going to move on to the development department. So when we talk about development, we're talking about our planning and community development department, which is led by Chris Hawkes. He's here. Our development and engineering department led by Adina Lund, and our economic development department led by Rick Buss. All three of those are here, so if we have any questions, certainly feel free to ask. The planning and community development department budget consists of 13 FTEs with a budget of about 1.8 million. And 87% of their budget is personnel-related costs, with 13% being contractual. The Planning and Community Development Department is funded through the city's general fund, and a portion of those expenditures are offset by fees related to development review services, so permits and things that, and projects that come through the door. The department is organized in 3 functional areas: the development review, which is responsible for administering the city's zoning code, design review guidelines, development plan review, and entitlements; the strategic planning, which includes preparing and implementing the city's general plan, managing a lot of our regional initiatives and implementing approved plans, and furthering some of our strategic annexations and open space preservation. And then we have the historic preservation area, which includes the protection and promotion of historic and cultural sites throughout the city. The department also serves as an advisory staff to a number of boards, which include our planning and zoning commission, the historic preservation board, and the design review board. Some notable accomplishments over the past year include the completion of the comprehensive update to the general plan, several state land annexations, the placement of the Peoria Jailhouse on the National Register, and some significant support and leadership with the 2020 Census Committee. Oops. Next, I'll talk about the Development and Engineering Department, if I can stop clicking. The Development and Engineering Department consists of 67 FTEs working together to oversee the design and construction of public infrastructure projects throughout the city, including drainage facilities, parks, streets, traffic control, water, and wastewater projects. The department also reviews and approves civil and building plans for all private development projects, including issuing permits and inspecting projects during construction. The total budget is just under $10 million, and the majority of that supports personnel costs. The Development and Engineering Department is funded through the general fund and the highway user revenue funds. And similar to planning, a portion of those expenditures are also offset through fees related to development review, permits and inspections, and capital project chargebacks. The department is organized into functional areas which include your engineering services, which is primarily your project management, and architectural services, which is for your parks, project management for your parks and your vertical infrastructure, our traffic engineering division, our building and site development divisions, and our right-of-way inspection divisions. So all those are part of the Development and Engineering Department. All construction that occurs within the city moves through the Development and Engineering Department. And in the past 12 months, we've permitted over 1,800 new homes. We've had 17 new commercial buildings come through, 162 commercial tenant improvements, and over 1,400 solar permits. So in keeping with our Superior Public Services focus, the department's increased the use of our electronic document review and that provides an easier way for folks to submit plans and reduces paper, reduces drive times. And we've been able to maintain our turnaround times at or ahead of our posted standards. So in supporting our smart growth goals, the city's building codes and engineering standards have been updated, and the city's development impact fees went into effect in October. They've been able to initiate and complete a number of important projects throughout the city, which Adina will give an overview of those in just a little bit. And lastly, the department's continued to foster strong relationships with our development partners such as McDOT, ADOT, MAG, the Flood Control District, and others. That I can move to the next one, which is our Economic Development Services Department. The Economic Development Services Department consists of 7 FTE that are responsible for implementing strategies that promote the attraction of targeted industry, business growth and expansion, a strong and diverse workforce, and strategies that support our small businesses and our entrepreneurial ecosystem. The total budget is about $1.7 million, and of that, the personnel make up about 59%, and contractual services such as advertising, community promotions, sales and marketing, and other services such as our Small Business Development Center, contract services like that make up 40%. The Economic Development Services Department is funded through the city's half-cent sales tax fund, and the department is focused on developing a strong economic base through business strategies that convert our leads to locates and capitalizes on our opportunities for growth within our targeted industries. Likewise, we have directed considerable resources to help and support our local small and mid-sized businesses in their efforts to expand. Some notable accomplishments this past year include the development of the Business Concierge Program, working in collaboration with Peoria Forward, the Chamber of Commerce, and Small Business Development Center to provide a comprehensive service for our business partners. And in October, we completed the RFP process for the Stadium Point project in P83 and continue to work towards a development agreement on that project, as well as we identified a development partner and completed an MOU for the future redevelopment of Old Town. So in order to continue to meet our development services goals, we're looking to continue with one-time funding for some contract employees to assist with building and engineering inspection services. These contract positions will help keep up with the existing demand, and the cost of these positions are offset and contingent upon revenues generated by permit fees and engineering chargebacks. The Economic Development Services Department is requesting funds to continue their sales and marketing efforts in identified markets outside of the state. And this is accomplished through our city-to-business strategy, where we meet face-to-face with prospects, actively reaching to bring new business to the city. We are also recommending some funding to continue to support our industry attraction events such as the Peoria Film Fest and our Northwest Meets Southwest, as well as provide booths and things like that at some of our other events that we have the opportunity to go to. And lastly, we request that we continue our partnership with the Peoria Small Business Development Center. And as you know, they've been a huge resource during this time and will continue to be a huge resource. They've tripled their clientele over the last month alone, and do feel that many of those will continue to be their clients for the long term. So this concludes the overall development department's overview, and if you have any questions, again, the directors are here if you have any questions that you saw in the budget.
Council, any comments or questions? I do want to say that during this time, the Small Business Development Center and all the work that you have done to put together the task force for our small businesses has been just, you know, I can't even express how many people were helped and how great it was that we already had that whole plan in place and could just deploy them immediately and be a great resource for all our small businesses. So really,
they've done an amazing job and
thanks.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, I guess it's my turn. I get to speak with you. And advance the slide here. I think, is it this one, Barry? Okay, about operations, and specifically, we've heard a lot about front-facing, being in the public. These are 4 departments that are very much so on a daily basis. Very happy to be here before you this evening to talk through it. It consists of 4 departments, Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities, our Neighborhood and Human Services Department, our Public Works Department, and our Water Services Department. And as with Andy and Katie, those 4 directors, very talented directors, are in the audience tonight. So as we go through, if you have any type of questions, we'll be happy to answer those. In total, these 4 departments represent about $87.5 million in expenditure budget authority. That's a combination of federal grants, state grants, general funds, enterprise funds, and user fees. And you'll see parts of that as we go through the presentation. A quick note too, these departments as well, they really are integral to either directly or indirectly supporting the livability initiatives for the city of Peoria. Very important, and you'll hear that as we go through the presentation as well. So the first one I'd like to talk through is the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. At its core, its vision and mission is to enrich livability in Peoria by connecting our residents, visitors, and our businesses with places, programs, and experiences via the Parks and Recreation system. This department is also at the forefront of our arts, cultural, and recreational livability initiative. It makes sense to do that, so they are driving that initiative. To accomplish this, there's about 130 employees in the department, full-time employees, and they're broken out as follows. We have the Library and Learning Services Division. We're familiar with Sunrise Mountain, the main library, and our special interest classes. Anytime you want a book or you want to check out something online, you can do that now from the comfort of your home. That's the place to go for books and learning, literacy, if you will. Community Facilities and Recreation, that division oversees the sports complex, the Rio Vista Recreation Center, and the Youth and Aquatics Program. The Neighborhood and Community Parks Division, that is the division that you will typically see the trucks out in the neighborhood parks. We deal with adult and sports programming, trails, right-of-way, open space. It also includes our park rangers, so it's a very active group within the Parks and Recreation Department. Business services is integral. You've got to sign people up for classes, you've got to reserve rooms, you've got to monitor the budgets. There's some onboarding with temporary seasonal employees. So we have a very vibrant business services section, and we did something unique a couple of years ago that we're continuing. That same division also works with the Neighborhood and Human Services Department as well. So we were able to double down, and we're continuing that on. In total, there were about 95,000 annual registrations, just to give you some sense of the numbers that kind of move through the system. About 33,000 participants at Rio Vista, going there to work out, to enjoy the facility. A little over 500,000, 535,000 visits to the library. So they're heavily used, and I think a couple of years ago we were able to do a strategic plan and demonstrated that as well. It hasn't dipped at all. It's still relatively stable and moving forward, so very important. All of this is very important. You'll see a little sign up there. It says CAPRA. That's our accreditation process. It's very significant in that it's a test that we go through every 5 years, and it's about, John can answer this, but I believe it's about 120, John? I don't know if you're there.
Other way.
155 different standards that we have to more or less get 100% on. We bring that back to Peoria, so we are always pursuing best practices. It's very important to us. A few of the notable budget asks this year, and some of these are in the capital budget that Adina will probably also cover. The department's asking for $155,000 in one-time funds and $76,000 in ongoing supplemental requests. It's a total of about $231,000. And of that, basically, we're seeking funding for neighborhood park refresh. We committed to that as a council and a community a couple years ago, where we said we want to do a job, said we wanted to pursue the refresh of our retention basins, so we're still actively pursuing those. We also are very excited about Paloma Community Park. I know we're all aware of that, but we're getting that much closer to its grand opening. Hopefully it's later this fall. the September-October timeframe. It's still under construction. What's also neat about that is as we finish that out, there's also a placeholder in the budget for enhanced trail systems in around that area to connect up West Wing Mountain with Paloma Community Park, Sonoran Mountain Ranch. It's going to be a continuous system. We're very excited about that. And if you're familiar with the area, you also have the impoundment area behind it, thousands of acres of open space. And it's a positive, but it can also be a challenge. So we've got the first phase of trail systems that we're going to be putting in there. We're very excited about that. There's additional funding for wayfinding signage. We started that last year, and we're going to continue that this year. It's about $100,000 in the CIP budget. And then one of the things we heard over the course of the year were our park restrooms, and a sense of, is there something we can do to address security issues, perceived security issues, real security issues. And we have put a placeholder in the budget this year in the CIP component of about $300,000. It's in the community work section to put in self-locking mechanisms. And we will be moving towards that with the engineering department as we go into the fiscal year if you approve the budget. Lastly, a couple other quick things. It's a big operation back in the CIP again. There's money for sports complex projects. We have $3.1 million earmarked for main library renovations. We also have ADA funding, American with Disabilities Act. We want to make sure all can access our park system, our trail system. And we've also have a little bit of money, about $285,000 earmarked for pool renovation. It's that point in time where the cool decking needs to be refreshed and some of the other amenities of those facilities need modernization. And real quickly, before I move on to the next item, it's a real quick note on COVID-19 and the impact it's had on parks. We're all familiar with the stand down. We've essentially closed off most of the amenities in the park. With Jeff and the other deputy city managers and with you, we're looking forward over the next few weeks, if everything trends properly, of hoping to ramp that back up. So you're going to hear a lot more from Parks and Recreation and really all the other departments with that. So I just wanted to comment on that real quickly.
Good. And also, I just want to make a comment that obviously our budget is showing that we are maintaining what we have and trying to make sure that it is kept up to the best standards that
Correct.
it can be, while we are still accommodating growth in the new growth areas of our city. I know that's a difficult thing to do, and difficult especially in a budget year like this, but I really appreciate all of the efforts that you're doing to handle both of those things and hit the middle of our city at the same time. So thanks.
Okay, we'll move on to the next part of the operations division, Neighborhood and Human Services. As we know, it was created in 2018 to help out with strengthening connection with our neighborhoods, our community. We saw an opportunity, we did some reorganization, and we're 2 years into it now. The good news is this department is at the forefront of our Healthy Neighborhoods and Livability Initiative. With Chris Howlett and his team, you'll see that the different divisions, which consist of youth and family, our code compliance division, special events and arts and culture, human services, they all work towards building a better Peoria. There's a number of staff, 44 in total, that work in this department. The budget's a little over $14 million, and you'll see, just like most of the pie charts up there, literally half of it is personnel related. Again, we're very people oriented. We do have some contractual obligations. Those primarily are with, for example, CAS, our CDBG, our pass-throughs, that type of thing. So that's reflected in the budget here.
Would you mind
I
spelling
apologize.
those out?
Yes. Sorry, I'm doing what I shouldn't do, which is use acronyms. One of the divisions, the Human Services Division, oversees the Community Development Block Grant Program. And these are basically entitlement programs that are gifted to us by the federal government. They give us a block of money each year. They then in turn use that money to address pressing social needs in the community. And there's a process associated with that, an application process, in addition to review. And each year it's a little over $1 million that they're able to deliver in the form of CDBG grants to our community. And that could consist of congregate meals, meal services, Meals on Wheels, low to moderate income housing, Habitat for Humanity, rehabilitation projects, that type of thing. It's very important. I think one of the other neat things about this particular department, again, they're very front-facing. They also oversee and work with the Arts Commission and the Youth Advisory Board. And those are two very important council-appointed organizations that help steer our arts program and really hopefully bring youth issues to the forefront and have staff through this department that can address those. A few of the notable items in the budget. Once again, we're requesting funding for our homeless navigator and additional bed nights. If that's approved, it's right around $154,000. That's been, I think, fairly successful so far. Last year, we started it on a one-time basis, and we contract with Phoenix Rescue Mission to go out 40 hours a week into our community and identify and really encourage those who may be homeless to avail themselves of services that we can get them to. These are the case managers, if you will, that we've needed so desperately. And it's a great partnership with the Human Services Division, the Police Department, and really all the other departments that are faced with homelessness and our community as well. The other thing we are seeking, we'd like a renewal of the Neighborhood Grants Program of about $150,000. That's another way to connect with our neighborhoods and communities. Enhanced neighborhood engagement, you'll see a request in there to ramp up our outreach efforts to communities. We developed and purchased and wrapped a van this year, a pop-up van. We want to better equip that. We want to go out and do neat things in neighborhoods, whether that's the neighborhood tool lending program, whether that's additional collateral that we want to deliver to neighbors and so on. Finally, the last couple of things on here, improvements to the graffiti removal program. We do have a person in the Parks and Recreation Department that has focused on graffiti removal in the park system, has done a wonderful job. With the growth of the system, the ability to get out and do in the community has kind of declined a little bit. It's no fault of that person, it's just the reality of growth demands. So what we're asking you for permission to do is use one-time monies of $45,000 to contract out so we can be as responsive as we can in removing graffiti on perimeter walls, private property walls, and that type of thing. There's an education process that goes with it. We think it'll pay huge dividends with respect to neighborhood and human services. The last couple of things on here, I know I'm a little wordy, I apologize. Special events and arts and culture programming. Again, in these two categories, we're seeking the continuation of funding for both, as Mr. Granger mentioned, Andy mentioned, kind of a flat budget. There are events that, as you know, we've had to postpone over the last few months, and we are asking for that to be placed back in the budget for the upcoming year. As we move through COVID-19 and learn more, that will determine whether we have to adjust those or continue moving forward with those. But to be safe, we're recommending we move forward as planned, and as Jeff said, we'll come back to you at the right time if there's any change to that. And these are examples of Park Fest, the Halloween Bash, the types of special event programming we've been so successful at doing. The last piece, arts and cultural program, it's very important. We're big supporters of the arts. Kind of the same ship, if you will. We are asking for funding to operate that program just as we have. We do have a couple of items in the deferred category that we're waiting on for budget. And one of those we had kind of inadvertently missed. It's art wraps for utility boxes. And what we'd like to do with your permission, and I can work with the city manager, we can reinsert that if the council so desires. And other items that we've had to defer, again, we'll bring those back to you at the right time. But we would like to put in, it's a one-time $10,000 request in that. So we'd like to see if we could get that back in.
Thank you.
Real quickly on Public Works. Actually, before I go on, are there any questions on either Parks and Recreation or Neighborhood and Human Services? I'm throwing a lot at you here.
Councilmember Hunt?
I have a quick question, Eric. So a number of our events, unfortunately, we weren't able to hold because of COVID-19. they were already funded, so where is that money sitting? What has happened to it, and how are we using it going forward?
Yeah, Councilmember Hunt, Mayor, basically that would roll over. We didn't spend it. It's still there, and it would roll over.
So is it in addition to what you're asking for, or does it become part of that and lower the new expenditure?
Thank you. It actually would kind of revert back to the funding source where it came from. So in this case, it's more likely general fund. And then we'll use that money to support the kind of the FY21 requests. So it's kind of just given back.
So unfortunately, it saved us
It's
some
a
money.
savings. It'll show as a savings that'll get put in the bank as a savings, and then we'll spend it in 21 based on some of these new things or special events that hopefully will happen.
Okay, thank you. And also quickly, is this the van down here? Is this our van? The
Yeah,
one-
it sure, yes, Mayor, Councilmember Hunt, it is, and that's the wrap. We messaged it with the census information.
So is that our first wrap? I mean, will we wrap it again?
Yes, we will, and it will be more of the neighborhood flavor.
Well, that's what I thought it was going to
yeah.
be. So how expensive is a wrap like that?
I don't have the answer for that. I can find out.
Probably 2,500?
2,500.
That's not bad. Okay, thank you.
Great. Okay,
Council,
we'll
any
move.
other questions or comments?
Oops, sorry.
From our electronic council members?
Mayor, this is Councilman Edwards.
Did you have a comment?
Yeah,
Oh.
I wanted to thank staff
Okay.
for putting back the art map into the budget.
The wrap?
Oh,
Yeah, the
The
wrap
art, yeah.
for the utility boxes. That is a program that Councilmember Edwards worked on with PUSD, and the students created that artwork, and then we were able to use it around the district, around the community that they live in. Yeah, it's a really great project. We thank you for inventing that, too.
Thank you.
Councilmember
Go back
Edwards.
to sleep.
Yeah.
okay, very good. We'll move on to Public Works here. This department is composed of about 169 hardworking men and women. They're out there every day. They're on the front lines. And they provide a variety of operational services that really, truly benefit all of us in Peoria. Collectively, they make up 5 different working functions. The first is our Solid Waste Services Division. This year, about 59,000 residential customers we're servicing, so a lot of heavy trucks on the road and picking up trash on a regular basis. Also doing the same thing with recycling. About 55,800 tons worth of goods that we move to the landfill, and about 17,000 almost in the recycling program. The Streets and Storm Drain Division, they keep our streets drivable through the pavement management program and the overall maintenance of our city streets, sign installations, striping, street maintenance, or street sweeping, maintenance of our traffic control devices, our lights, our street lights, and of course our storm drains. Fleet services is really important. That's the group that fixes everything that we break when we drive our trucks around. And they are a very busy group, and we're happy to have them here. They repair, purchase, maintain, secure fuel for over 700 pieces of different equipment throughout the city. Very important group. Facilities management. We have about 97 different building type structures throughout the city. And they are responsible for each of those and making sure that when the plumbing goes out, the plumbing gets fixed. When the HVAC needs repair, the HVAC gets fixed, and so on. And a reminder, a lot of those are used by our citizens. So again, we want to make sure that we're responsive and we tend to these very quickly. And finally, the transit division. That's the group that oversees our dial ride services, our POGO Phase 2 when that gets going, all of our fixed route, and is really responsible for overseeing the transit master plan that we're currently working on, and we hope to bring back to you a little later this summer. Again, this department's funded with a myriad of funds, general funds, transportation sales tax, HERF, enterprise funds, and so on. And real quickly, as you can see in the pie chart, about 50% of the costs are for operational expenses, contractual. We do a lot of that, and it's to provide direct services to our residents. A final note, there's another sticker up there. We're very proud about this one too. The American Public Works Association has certified our Public Works Department and our Water Services Department, and we are only 1 in 5 in the whole state of Arizona. So that's the professionalism right there of that group.
Eric, before you move on, would you
Yes.
mind explaining to people who are watching what HERF is?
Yes, thank you. Again, I used an acronym, I shouldn't have done that. That's Highway User Revenue Funds. And every time you more or less buy gasoline in the state of Arizona, the state collects a tax, and through a formula they have, they redistribute that annually to various cities and jurisdictions. And the HERF is a component that we receive and we're able to use to fund some of our operations.
It has to be used on some sort of
Yes,
transportation.
yes,
aspect.
yeah, absolutely, Mary. It can't be used for parks. It's got to be used for some form of transportation, correct?
Yes, Councilmember Hunt.
Eric, where is and what is happening to that cute little 11-person people mover that we barely got debuted, and then this happened, and where is it now and what's it doing?
Oh, that, yes, that was the one, yes. Well, let's ask our director, Mr. Burke, about that. So Kevin, do you have a minute?
Do you have a minute?
It's a good question.
We're just in storage till we can get it out.
Oh.
Okay, it's still ours.
For another 30 days.
Okay, I guess I just want to know what's happened to it. Obviously, its life with us was cut very short. We didn't have enough of a trial to be able to really make a good decision on it, although we all liked it, but I know it wasn't a long enough trial to be legitimate, so what's its
Thank you,
status?
Mayor, Councilmember Hunt. The program was scheduled to be a 60-day trial of the autonomous vehicle. We got through about 30 days before we had to pull the plug. So right now, because there's not another demand for it elsewhere, because it was kind of programmed to move on, and everything's been in delay, they've said, just leave it, here in place. So we moved it over to the MOC and have it in storage, and that if the right circumstances prevail, we can reintroduce it. We are a little hesitant because we're not sure how quickly people want to jump into such a close-quartered vehicle with social distancing in place. So we've been looking at other ideas of how it might work, but we do still have 30 days left on that contract.
So we don't own it?
We don't. It was just
leased it?
It was.
For a trial?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It's a good idea, just the wrong time.
It's going really well. Like a lot of things,
Did
right?
did it have really good user? Were there 11 people in it almost every time it moved?
I wouldn't say quite that many, but it was having good usership, and we were learning lots of different things about what people liked about it, when they liked it, how they used it, and so that's been, even with the 30 days, it's giving us a lot of good data to figure out what is the best way to incorporate that kind of technology going forward.
Well, this is going to pass eventually, so we can look at it again.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the notable budget items in Public Works for this year. In total, the department is requesting about $1.2 million in supplemental requests. $440,000 of that would be a one-time, $301,000 would be ongoing. The majority of that is in the form of general fund asks, and then again, the rest is balanced out with transit funds, that highway user revenue fund I mentioned, and our enterprise funds. We also have the stormwater drainage fee that will benefit us in the last bullet point up there. Among the highlights, dial-a-ride replacement buses. We operate our own dial-a-ride system. And we have a couple buses that were acquired in 1988. They've outlived their useful life, so we need to have those replaced.
Did you say 1988?
Yes, 1988. The good news with that, 85% of the cost is covered with Federal Transit Authority grants, and the rest with RPTA grants, more or less, yeah. The next item on here, regional ADA. For those, when our dial-a-ride service ends, we also work with Valley Metro and it's a different kind of model. They will literally pick you up if you qualify for the service and take you more or less anywhere in their transportation, in their grid. And we were put on notice earlier this year at the time we were developing the budget that the cost to provide that service has gone up. I can tell you the amount that we have plugged in, 300,000, we'd like to keep that in there. It may come down a little bit because of everything that's happened. It's had an enormous impact on public transit users. We're tracking that very, very closely, and we will make sure that if there are adjustments, it gets adjusted properly. But for now, we're asking for the full amount. We will not spend it if we adjust it appropriately. The other item, Katie mentioned, there's a lot of growth that's occurred even despite the last couple of months in Peoria. And of all things, we need more sanitation containers. I know it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it's one of those items that we do have to budget for. There's a little bit of an increase, approximately $160,000, to buy those and make sure our new homes, those that are built here over the last couple of years, continue to have the containers. And finally, stormwater, dry well maintenance, we're asking for $100,000 to make sure that we keep those in operational order. We basically want to hit all of them. We have 129 dry wells throughout the city. We want to do a third each year in maintenance and in cleaning, and we feel $100,000 a year will help us accomplish that. The next sequence here I wanted to share with you, water services. It's the last one, I promise, and then we'll move on. This is obviously a very important department for a number of reasons. It's a very quiet department. You don't hear a whole lot about it. You turn your tap on in the morning, the water comes out, and you take your shower, the water comes out. It goes somewhere. It just happens. But this is so important to the quality of our life here. We can't live without water anywhere, particularly in the desert. Our goal in this area is very focused. We want to provide high-quality water and wastewater services to all of our customers, preserve the city's investment in its utility infrastructure. We have to process this stuff. We have plants, we have distribution systems, and so on. And then we want to make sure we have adequate water resources to meet our 100-year assured water supply. That drives everything: growth, economic development, quality of life. To accomplish all of this, as you can see by the slide, we've got about 98 employees who are out in the field in the plants and so on. We have partnerships with the City of Glendale for the Pyramid Peak treatment facilities at Greenway and Quintero. We have wastewater facilities at Butler and Jomax and Beardsley. They take all that water and process it, and then we're able to turn that into credits and use that to bank on in the future if we need to use that. Likewise, we've got a whole bunch of pumps and valves and pipes we've got to fix, so we've got about a division that oversees that. And the other important thing is we have to comply with a lot of federal, state, county regulations. So we do have a team, a division, that oversees that, and they also help out local businesses with grease traps and that type of thing. Their job is to make sure that the water's safe, it's measured, and we're in compliance with all the regulations. Very important. Most of this is an enterprise fund. We had a good presentation with you a couple months ago on enterprise funds. So basically, this is all funded through the Water and Wastewater Enterprise Fund, and that's the fees that we charge our utility customers to pay for the privilege of the water and the wastewater, processing the wastewater. A couple notable budget items here. Recharge and water delivery fees, like everything else, they've gone up a little bit. So one of the asks is for $152,000 for water recharge fees and delivery fees by the community or Central Arizona project. We have fees, additional fees from the Salt River project, and there's some raw water costs that we need to take care of at the NAUSP, which is one of our retention areas. There's a $55,000 request. You'll see the little AMWA logo up there. That's the Arizona Municipal Water Users Association, and I believe the president of that is sitting right in front of me here. And that's a very important organization. They champion strategic, smart water use, and it brings together the largest water users in kind of the metro area, Arizona actually. And they talk about strategic thinking, issues that are coming up, and what can the respective participant agencies do to perhaps address some of that. There's a fee increase of about $25,000 in ongoing and $30,000 in one time to stay a member of that, and we very much have value, see the value in that, we want to do that. Lastly, new equipment. We need a new backhoe. We need a new closed-circuit TV van, stuff like that. And the last bullet up there, it's about $352,000 in funding that we're asking you to approve for that. This really kind of concludes the operational departments. And again, a lot of information. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I've got all the directors here and happy to do so.
Council, do you have any questions or comments?
Mayor, I had just
Yeah, and who is that?
multiple.
Well, since I can't see you, one of you needs to say your name and go.
Okay, Finn. So when we got the additional we needed, are those just for growth or are we citywide? How is that going to work?
He's underwater for his presentation.
So could you say that again? I'm afraid we could not understand you.
Yeah, I know. Back. It's not important, but keep moving.
I'm sorry. I don't know if we can change the way that is coming across or change the way you're saying it.
One option is if, Councilmember Finn, if you'd like to type that into Microsoft Teams, you probably could see the question that way, and then we could repeat
Oh, how
the
about
question.
that? How fast can you type?
Let me take this. Is this any better?
It's a little better. Try it.
Okay. I'll just type it.
Okay. Did anybody else have any comments also?
Might just unplug this.
And we're gone. Okay. Oh, good.
Here's the masked man.
Yeah. So for anyone who is watching this at home, we are switching over to a Microsoft Teams visual. Stand by. Ah, yes. Councilmember Dunn, would you like to take up some of this black space here?
So in the beginning of this presentation, I heard that we're going to stay flat, so we're not adding any additional employees or subtract. Is it also the go for the same for subtracting?
Right. So really what the direction we have for the departments is really to work with the existing resources that you have and really to limit any of our ongoing expenses going forward. So every year we do look at our different areas and our different operations and kind of assess how they're being used and applied. But in general, this is pretty much keeping to the same level that we have. Going forward, as we'll talk about, we'll look very closely at all the services that we provide, how they're funded, and that might be where we're looking at opportunities for reductions if there is through attrition or different pieces like that. But right now, this budget is anticipating we keep the same level of service for our residents. And that can be a challenge when we have growth-related pressures in there, but in working very closely with our departments, we believe we can do so.
So, yeah, I understand about the level of service. I just, I know our employees are very important, and I just wanted to make sure that, everybody knows that they're safe during this time too. We want to help the businesses, we want to make sure our employees are safe too, and, that they have a place to work. So I understand definitely not adding any, but, also retaining what we have or shifting them around to make sure they're accommodated.
Right, and, and again, a part of one of the main reasons that we go through a process of having these strong financial policies in place is so that we don't have to make a sudden reactive type of move or measure that can undermine our organization and the community. So in this case, for example, there's no need for us to do immediate furloughs or any type of activity like that at this point in time, nor do we think that's a good practice because of how that necessarily would apply itself long term. So what we plan to do is over the next few months, look at our revenue complexion and then really be very deliberate and measured on how we're going to approach any of the adjustments that we would have. But as we've talked about a lot with our employee organization, we do have the funding to backstop to support their operations as we go through these measures.
So that sounds good. I think what I'm hearing you say right now, we're staying flat and we're not adding or subtracting, and we'll look at it down the road though. Okay, thank you.
Mayor, I see Vice Mayor Finn's question here, and he's asking, are the new trash bins just for growth or replacements throughout the city? So, Kevin, the answer is both, but Kevin will delve into it a little bit.
Yes, Mayor, Vice Mayor Finn, that dollars are for primarily growth, but there is some replacement that goes on over the course of the year. I would also tell you that amount was diminished a little bit because we were able to use some balance on our development impact fees before the first of the year, and so we were able to reduce some of that expense for this upcoming year. So, but they are primarily growth-driven with a portion for replacement.
Thank you.
Council, are there any further questions? I can see one of you. I'm not going to tell you who it is, though. It's Bill. Okay, now I see two of you. There we go. Three of you. Okay, and so does everybody see them? Or is it just me?
No, we all.
All right, you guys, you're back. I think it might just be temporarily, though. But it's been very nice seeing you. All right. Okay.
So with that, we'll pass it over to the public safety area, which includes our police operation and our fire medical, and Deputy City Manager Andy Granger will go through that overview. Begins on page 393, I believe.
Thank you, Jeff, Mayor, and Council. As Jeff stated, the last two departments we're going to present as far as the operational budget is concerned is our public safety departments of the police department and fire medical department. And I'll go with the police department first. The police department is led by Chief Miller, as you know, is organized in three main areas. They include patrol services, special operations support, and management services. The department has 304 full-time employees and a budget of almost $52.5 million. That includes, the budget is comprised primarily of personnel at 81% and contractual services at 17%. And the department is funded primarily through general funds, but they do obtain grants and forfeiture funds to fund certain special operations within the department. Goals of the department are to reduce crime and the fear of crime, operate with maximum efficiency, and partner with the community to identify and solve problems. I'd like to personally highlight that Chief Miller and the department continued to maintain low response times and crime rates over the past year, utilizing community policing and a new mid-shift squad. In order to meet department goals and provide superior public safety, the following items are the most notable budget additions from the police department. You'll notice that most of these are technology related and go directly towards one of your council goals under superior public safety, which is to leverage advances in public safety technology in order to improve efficiency. The first one is a request for a new crime analytics software. The existing software is outdated, and we're requesting new software which will allow our crime analysts to be more efficient and effective in identifying emerging crime trends, providing real crime stats, and allowing the public to access to certain crime stats. The next supplemental is for electronic forensic equipment. This new equipment will allow staff to analyze electronics such as cell phones, computers, and cloud-based applications as part of a case to aid in solving crimes. This is becoming a critical tool in today's technology world as far as police investigations are concerned. And along with it, the next supplemental is for a request for a criminal investigations data storage unit on site. This unit is necessary to house or store all of the forensic evidence that we obtain from that forensic equipment that will be needed to prosecute cases as well as for records retention requirements. And then lastly, I'm proud to announce that we are requesting a new critical incident stress management program for the police department. This is a newly funded program to provide counseling services to all sworn and civilian members of the police department. After critical events, it is necessary to provide these services to all members of the department to minimize and address appropriately the emotional trauma associated with these events. And I'd like to be clear that currently we do provide this service for sworn officers, but we currently don't have a program for civilian employees within the police department, and that's what this proposal is for.
Councilmember Hunt?
What does that look like for $24,000?
It's working with an outside consultant to provide those services. So if there is a significant event that an employee encounters, that we offer those services to that employee.
It just seems like a really low amount to me for any kind of counseling.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say to that, except it just strikes me as being very low. If 100 officers had needed it, I don't know how this would pay for it.
I'll bring the chief up here to respond to that.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Yes, on this, it will supplement programs we already have in place. We have peer counseling. We also have HR with our EAP to assist with such needs as they arise. And then the other part of it is it gives us an opportunity to direct officers and staff to the services they needed for their mental well-being.
Okay. So is it a person? Are they working with a person, or is it a program of some kind? Or
They are working with a psychologist when they do this. And then there's another program that comes to mind right now with the 100 Club, which is a law enforcement supports law enforcement, where we can have online counseling via the internet.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Thank you for asking.
Sure.
Yes, Councilmember Binsbacher.
Thank you, Mayor. When there is a critical incident like this, is the counseling, is that now part just procedural and automatic, or is it voluntary?
Right now, it's voluntary. However, if a supervisor or manager decides that someone may not be responding well to handling an incident, we will direct them there. We have that we have that privilege to do that, and we have done that a couple times. And sometimes the people that are in this situation don't really see it, and that's why the training that we get for our supervisors and managers is so important.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Councilmember Dunn? So, Chief, come back.
Sorry, I thought I got the nod.
So I did notice that it included phones, and I'm glad to see that that got in for our officers. I wanted to ask about, and I don't know if I have this acronym correct, PPE, Personal Protective Equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So, considering the time we're in, and some of the things that, we hadn't used prior, do we have enough of that to cover our force and, moving ahead? Is that in the budget?
That is in the budget, and we do have, currently we have enough PPE, or personal protective equipment, and then we work very closely with our fire department they're kind of the storekeeper of it, and anytime we need any additional material, we get it from them. And every officer that comes to our department or gets hired on, they have at least two packages of the PPE. And again, it's something that has not been an issue, and I think with the fire department maintaining it, we'll be fine.
Thank you. I get questions from the public quite often, just because of, some of the physical distancing and the masks and perceptions. So I just, I just want to make sure that we have enough to cover everybody, because there is a perception out there, and I think that I'm appreciative. I know I spoke with fire a little bit, and they're working really hard to make sure that everybody knows that they're taking precautions to keep everybody safe. And so I just wanted to make sure that we had enough.
Yeah, so on that, we have changed our protocols on when someone calls 911 and requests services, we have them go through a protocol of asking if they're showing any symptoms of COVID. In addition to that, all of our patrol vehicles, all of our detective vehicles have personal wipes in there for sanitizing the car. And then also we've had a company come out and sanitize almost the entire fleet.
But we do have enough masks and things like that?
We do.
Okay, that's all I needed. Thank you.
Thank you.
that concludes our presentation for the police department. If you have any questions, or I can move on to the fire medical department.
Nope, I think we're good.
Okay. The fire medical department, led by Chief Reese, is organized in the following main areas: fire operations and training, medical services, fire prevention and community involvement, and administrative support services. The staffing for this department is 220 FTEs and a budget of $38.9 million. That's 86% of that is comprised of personnel services and 12% is contractual services. This department, too, is funded primarily through general fund, but we do collect user fees, especially for our ambulance services for for the ambulance service operation. Goals of the department are to protect life and property in that order, to increase community awareness and preparedness, and to operate the department to maximum efficiency. I'd like to highlight that Chief Reese and the department are currently cost recovering the operations of the first 4 ambulances that were in service, and that we are optimistic that the 5th ambulance will achieve cost recovery within the next 6 months. We are well on our way. In order to meet these goals and provide superior public safety for the fire medical department, the following items are the major proposed budget additions for fire medical. We are excited to propose a new fire cancer screening program for the first time ever. This program will allow our firefighters to be given baseline cancer screening with the goal to diagnose cancer much earlier in firefighters to provide them with a much better success rate, and it will hopefully have a residual benefit of reducing the city's workers' compensation program costs. This pilot program will evolve, we are sure, but the first year costs are estimated at $250,000. And we're working with the Scottsdale Clinic right now that specializes in public safety cancer screening, and we'll continue that partnership over the next year for this cancer screening program. The city also has 2 notable CIP projects needed to accommodate new ambulance personnel, primarily in dorm expansion and station upgrades. These include Fire Station Number 2, which needs to be expanded and will be completed next fiscal year, and Fire Station Number 5, which will be under design during the next fiscal year and under construction the following year. That concludes the supplementals for the fire medical department. And in summary, I'd like to state that from both police and fire medical that we, as you saw with all of the other departments, did not add any new full-time employees to the departments, and we minimize the amount of ongoing costs as far as moving forward. And with that, I'll take any questions that you have.
Thank you. Councilmember Binsbacher.
Thank you, Mayor. A similar question with the cancer screening. Is that now just a procedural thing for all members? So it's a requirement, or is that voluntary?
Well, it will be part of the program. I don't know if I would say it's going to be a requirement, but it's going to be part of the program that goes along with their annual physicals that they get at Phoenix Fire. So they'll be working with their physician that we've got with Phoenix, and that physician works specifically with the Scottsdale Clinic to determine the high-risk candidates that have been exposed, and they'll all get baseline screening, but the screening will be determined by what their risk is and what they've been exposed to throughout their career.
And then they're referred.
And then they're referred.
As needed. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm really, really glad we're instituting this program. I think it's a big step forward for the long-term health of all of our firefighters. I'm really excited about that.
Mayor, there's also a question from Councilmember Finn, Vice Mayor Finn.
Well, let's see if I can figure it out. As I looked through the staffing numbers for public safety, I saw it was flat year over year. What is our projected residents' growth for the next fiscal year? And do we feel comfortable that we can provide efficient and effective public safety services to our residents with flat staffing? And that is from Councilmember Finn.
I'll take that as a general question. For both police and fire medical, we're confident that we can address all of the public safety needs throughout the city. Primarily, most of our growth is in the north, although we see growth throughout the city. But based on what we see in our growth projections, we feel very confident that we'll keep meeting our response times. We feel confident that our crime rates will stay low because of where we see the growth happening. And based on new technological improvements as well as community policing, we feel confident that moving forward, we'll be able to address all those needs over the next year.
Great to hear.
Thank you. I think one of the great elements of our process, including our capital improvement planning process, is we have our department staff that are all in it together that really look at all of the development assumptions that are coming both from residential and commercial activity, and then based off of that, have discussions about the long-term strategic needs that are in those areas and making sure that they tie and get with our finance, so we get everyone in the same room to make these kinds of calls. So I am very optimistic that we can have a good plan going forward, and that if we do see any kind of service disruption, we will react accordingly.
Good, thank you.
I believe that concludes our operating budget forecast. If there are any other questions on that before we pass this over to the capital improvement program presentation.
So, Council, we are about to move into the CIP. Is there any other questions for our regular budget? Okay, I see none. Thank you.
Great. Well, and thank you. I appreciate our deputies providing these presentations, and thank you to our department directors. You heard a few different times about the accreditation aspect of that. That is something that we take very seriously, and as you've heard, very rigorous process to make sure that we are applying the best practices nationally. That I know of, we are one of maybe only 2 cities in the entire state that meet accreditation in all of the different areas, which includes fire and police, public works, as well as parks. Hi, John. We are so proud of that aspect. I think even nationwide, there's only approximately, I think, 75 different jurisdictions nationwide that even reach to that standard. Wow. Such a great effort. So very proud of our staff in working within the means to maintain these great services. And that also plays itself out to our capital improvement program and our resident guru, Adina Lund, our engineering director, who can discuss the 10-year capital program that exceeds $700 million.
Thank you for that. I feel pressure, but we'll get through it together. So I'm always in it together. I am very happy to be here tonight as the face of the capital program. Obviously, it is not me that delivers the capital program alone. I have a large staff that helps me, and many other departments also deliver projects and help us prepare that 10-year CIP. We start our preparation always in June for the next year, looking at updating the financial impacts in the capital program from what we've seen the year before, which this year could prove to be difficult to see how the impacts of COVID affect the financial picture for the cost to deliver a project. But we will stay in tune and look at other resources to help guide us in those updates. Also, we follow the council goals, priorities, and the master plans in looking at that 10-year CIP and seeing what projects need to be added, moved, changed, expanded. So we're always looking to you to provide us that direction as we move forward preparing the 10-year CIP. So with that, let's move right in. Maybe. The agenda looks very similar to last year. We're going to go through the fiscal year 20 completed projects that we're currently building. Shovel-ready projects is a new category that I'll explain later. Projects that are currently in design. A few new projects that are being added to the overall 10-year CIP. The Community Works program, which is one of our favorite programs as it really touches all parts of the city. And then I'll have time for questions, but you can weigh in at any time during the presentation. The fiscal year 20 completed projects, as I like to call a trip down memory lane. The Bell Road Peoria Auto District, from the Loop 101, 1 mile to the west, the city limits, we provided enhanced landscape medians that included palm trees and lower shrubs that are flowering in different colors. And we provided the Peoria Auto District themed signage. If you drive through at night, you will be excited to see the sign lit up, and the palm trees are also lit up with varying colors depending on what's going on in the community. We also increased the left turn storage at 84th and 87th because if we were going to touch that road, we were going to do it right.
Before you move on from this, I just want to say to everybody who might be watching this, one of the reasons why we needed to enhance the appearance of the auto district is that is the largest source of revenue for our city. We talked about sales tax before. We need to keep this area modernized. We need to keep it maintained in a way that is profitable for the auto dealers that reside there, so that they don't just decide to do what happened on Glendale Avenue years and years ago and just all vacate that area. We use the funds from auto sales tax to fund police and fire and parks and libraries and the things that the rest of the community uses. So putting a little bit of money into the area where they reside comes back to us multiple times. I just wanted to let everybody understand why one area of our city might have gotten new palm trees and others might not have.
Thank you for that comment, Mayor. Our Economic Development Department did initially start the project working with those auto dealers, and they sat on the committee throughout the whole project, and we even got a very nice thank you from them when it was done.
It's nice. Thank you.
The next project I want to talk about is Westland Road Reservoir and the Lone Mountain Parkway 36-inch water line. So up in Vistancia, we had a project to build a new 2.5 million gallon storage tank for future development. That is the equivalent of 10,000 new homes, because like myself, you probably don't understand what 2.5 million gallons of water means. I wanted to draw your attention to the rendering that was on the lower left-hand corner, and that's what we originally presented. But based on the guidance from Councilmember Binsbacher, we were able to actually construct it with a much darker wall that blended into the mountains behind it. So you can see the finished project to the right. I always like to show when the rendering matches, very similar to what we delivered. We also installed 2 miles of 36-inch water line along the Lone Mountain alignment from the Loop 303 to Lake Pleasant Parkway. This connects Vistancia's well system to the city's major water distribution system, adding redundancy to the system. Those projects were funded mostly by the developer. The developer contributed $19 million towards the projects, which their combined cost was $25 million. So the city put in a small share for other future developments that are not part of the development agreements of what we have right now. 103rd Avenue improvements from Northern to Olive. If you look at the lower left-hand corner, you can see what we started with, which was 1 lane in each direction and a chain link fence along the west side. What we delivered was a 2 lane in each direction roadway with new sidewalks on the west side, a raised landscape median, and a beautiful wrought iron fence. Nice. Much improvement for the neighborhood. We also took that opportunity to replace the existing water line so we wouldn't have to go back in due to breaks and other maintenance issues. The next project, Pinnacle Peak Road from 91st to Lake Pleasant Parkway. We actually just finished this project last week. You may still see some construction as we do punch list items. You can see at the top, this was also a 1 lane road in each direction, where we widened it to 2 lanes with bike lanes, sidewalks, and a raised landscape median. I do want to point out that the south side of the project was paid for by the developer, and the north side was paid for by Maricopa County. It was in their jurisdiction. They paid for the improvements, and now that it is complete, it is annexed into the city of Peoria. I do also want to add that we put conduits in at 95th and Pinnacle Peak for a future signal when that time comes, and we will continue to monitor to make sure that we are on top of that need. Let's not forget about the Peoria Park and Ride. This opened last summer. It was funded entirely with federal dollars. No city dollars were paid. You can see that we added 71 shaded parking spaces, 6 bike lockers. We also installed 2 charging stations, which is very important to us, and the amazing pervious concrete. When you put water all through it, it seems to evaporate in minutes as it actually goes to the subsurface. The Neighborhood Parks Refresh Program. This was the park that's located in Fletcher Heights North, and when you look close, it's hard to see the difference from the before and after, so let me take a moment to explain. We were able to do a turf reduction, and originally all those trees were surrounded by turf, which is very hard to maintain on a slope. So we were able to reduce that turf down to where it's needed, replace the granite, replace the irrigation system, and then we were also, after the irrigation was fixed, able to install new trees and shrubs where needed.
So are you saying that the new way that you've done it is cheaper to maintain?
It is cheaper to maintain, and we always like to reduce turf in the city because that's using water wisely. So, and it makes mowing much easier when you're not mowing around all the trees. Lots of advantages in the area.
Looks better, too.
It does. The Retention Basin Refresh Program is a similar program. We've highlighted the improvements at 109th and Adams, and that was also a location where we had to fully improve the irrigation system, so we were able to replant shrubs and trees that had gone missing over the years. We were also able to add new granite and a very nice ADA walking path to make it more desirable to the neighborhood. We also touched 3 other areas this past year.
And in redoing that one, I know that the city staff decided to put that into a policy to make sure that all of the other ones throughout the city will be upgraded to this new standard from now on.
Yes, they do keep an ongoing list of all of the areas in the city and they prioritize them. So they drive around looking at the issues that they're having and which ones are in the most need, and then they prioritize that way. So every year we will be touching more as we go to get them back to the standard that you feel is representative of our city from north to south.
Thank you.
Next, I want to talk about the pavement rehabilitation program. This year, we had quite a bit of funding for the mill and overlay program, so we were able to do 13 miles of roadway. Right now, we're actually doing Bell Road in the Auto District. So if you go out between Sunday night and Thursday night between 9 and 5, you will see a lot of construction. I suggest you avoid it. But in July, when you drive that road, it is going to look beautiful like all the other roads in the city. We also had a very robust pavement preservation. So besides doing a mill and overlay, we do micro seals, slurry seals, seal coats. Public Works is doing a great job at keeping our roads looking fresh. This year, they were able to touch another 48 centerline miles of roadway. And those are obviously located throughout the entire community.
That's a lot of roads.
It's a lot of touches where it means the most. Another program I wanted to highlight this year, we were able to do street light conversions to LED. This, of course, is in tune with what our sustainability goals are, added to the fact that high-pressure sodium lights are now hard to come by. So it was a good 2-for-1 project. We were able to replace 3,000 lights on the arterial roadways and another 1,500 on the collector roadways. Next, I want to talk about the projects that are currently under construction if you're driving throughout the city. I would be remiss if I did not talk about COVID. As we know, 2 months ago, we could not have foreseen what a construction site would look like during COVID. So I wanted to give you a little glimpse behind the curtain of what we see. In the top corner, you will see all the signage that is now installed at many of the job sites that just talks about COVID. In the top center, you will see many of the construction sites have a person there screening individuals and making sure, where have you traveled, have you been sick? These are very important precautions that the construction industry is taking. If you visit the site, you have to follow whatever restrictions are for that site. So we'll see many of our inspectors that have face coverings as they do their inspections. And we are practicing social distancing in many of our outdoor meetings, as you see. All of the inspectors are reporting directly to their vehicles and having their meetings in the parking garage. We're keeping up with the changes and doing it with a great attitude. I do want to point out the hand washing stations at the bottom. Finding hand washing stations and sanitizers has been a challenge, so the contractors have been very creative in making their own. So let's get to what we all want to see, the projects. If I can get the clicker to work. Happy Valley Parkway widening. This project is going to widen between Loop 303 and Lake Pleasant Parkway. The road will be 3 lanes in each direction, including the bridge. It will have enhanced bicycle and pedestrian facilities, including a 12-foot path along the bridge. This is new for us. Traditionally, they've only been 6 or 7 feet wide, and 12 feet will be much more comfortable for bikes and pedestrians to use. We are also enhancing the signal that's located at the Lake Pleasant Pavilion and Lake Pleasant Town Center, so you'll be able to get to Target safely at a signalized intersection. The top picture shows where we currently are with construction, what's been widened to date on the south side. The bottom shows the rendering of what it's going to look like, and over in the bottom right, you will see a close-up of what the bridge rail looks like. This was done with a form liner when they poured the concrete and will be stained or painted with multiple colors to resemble rock. This is what we've done at other bridges in Peoria and is very easy to maintain and holds up very well. As you also notice, the county participated with $5 million to pay for their share of the road between the west end of the Agua Bridge and the Loop 303. So once this project is done, this is also annexed into the city, and we will control that entire section of roadway. It will be much easier to time all those signals correctly, including the signal at 115th Avenue. This project will be complete fall of this year. Wow. Despite COVID, despite rain delays, we will deliver the project.
Wow.
Next, I want to highlight Paloma Community Park. We have been talking about this park for a long time, and it is exciting to see it moving towards fruition. As you can see from the aerial view of the top, the ball fields are starting to get together. Obviously, they still need grass. Also, the parking lot, the concrete is coming forward, so you're starting to see where people are going to park. This is just a brief preview of what's to come. Many lighted fields, splash pad, dog parks, fishing lake, trailhead, and of course the inclusive playgrounds that you see below. This is a rendering of what it's going to look like. The inclusive playgrounds for this project was kind of our special little baby. Parks Department, Engineering Department, the contractor, the playground company, all worked together and included 2 occupational therapists from Peoria Unified School District to help guide us into what an inclusive playground should look like. So then we can take all the lessons learned and use it for all of our playgrounds that we've been working on. So that's included in all the ones that you see coming up to date, is lessons we've learned how to do it better from the experts. Because as much as we learn, we always have to look for guidance from people who know more than us. So this project will be open, I say late summer, some say early fall, tomato, tomato. It will be opening soon. And we really look forward to seeing kids playing again and utilizing the new park.
And so for people who are watching this from home, a community park is our title for what is our largest park. We have one at Pioneer Park in the southernmost area of our city, and Rio Vista Park in the middle of our city. And then this would be our 3rd community park in the city of Peoria.
Correct. This is located at the Loop 303 and Lake Pleasant Parkway. So very easy to get to with freeway, right near the freeway. Next, I want to talk about 67th Avenue and Pinnacle Peak drainage improvements. You've seen this before. I've called it the Section 12 near-term improvements. The first phase we completed during the winter. I don't have any pictures of that. That was where we did new curbing, we regraded intersections, installed pipe to redirect that water going through the neighborhoods. We had had flooding in the area, and we needed to make sure the water safely was conveyed to the river. We also installed the new basin that's at the bottom at 70th and Pinnacle Peak. Phase 2 started last month, and it is landscaping that basin, also installing a walking path for the basin. And the top basin is located at 67th and Hatfield, and that will provide further protection to that neighborhood on the north. All of these are short-term improvements for smaller storms, and a regional project will follow that I'll talk about later. And that will really help us with the 67th Avenue flooding and redirecting the water away from this neighborhood. But we had to do something in the interim to keep people's homes dry. Pyramid Peak Water Treatment Plant expansion. This is the expansion of the Glendale Pyramid Peak Water Treatment Plant that is located in Phoenix. I know it doesn't sound like it makes any sense, but Peoria actually owns capacity in that facility. So we currently have 11 million gallons per day, and we're expanding that to 24 million gallons per day, taking water off of the CAP and treating it for delivery for our residents. That equates to the 50,000 homes, but we do not anticipate that it will be for 50,000 homes. We expect to see businesses coming to the city that will use a portion of that. So it will be for residents and for future businesses that we haven't yet identified. This started in summer of 2019, and because of the size of the project, it's estimated to be complete in fall of 21. We continue to work closely with our Glendale partners to get this project complete. Liberty Park. This park is located in the Meadows neighborhood at 97th Avenue and Williams. The developer is constructing the new park as part of a development agreement that we've had on the books for years. The amenities include shaded inclusive playgrounds, ramadas, restroom, a lighted multi-use field, and 2 pickleball courts. It is located next to a future Peoria Unified School District elementary school site, we hope and anticipate. We worked closely with them to make sure that the improvements would work together in the future. We just started construction. That's why I didn't include a picture, because if you go out there, it's just a big dirt lot. Nothing to see here yet, but we do anticipate it will be complete this fall. The pavement preservation and rehab program. This is what we're going to be building over the next fiscal year. So this is once again, Public Works doing their best to paint the roads black. This year we have a little bit less funding. So we are only doing 1 million overlay project, which is Peoria Avenue from 83rd to the Loop 101. But we also have a major crack and full depth repair project on Lake Pleasant Parkway from Beardsley to 95th Avenue. And then we have micro seals and chip seal dirt roads throughout the city.
And we can provide you a listing of those projects if you would like.
Thank you.
This is our new term, shovel-ready projects. I'm sure you've heard it used many times throughout the years. Our version of shovel-ready is a little bit different. These are projects that the design is 100% complete, and for whatever reason, we haven't started construction. So I'm going to talk through those with you. Maybe. The first project is Joe Mex Road from the Loop 303 to Vistancia Boulevard. This is a companion project to an ADOT project that is federally funded that is going to widen the Loop 303 from Happy Valley to Lake Pleasant Parkway. They're going to add 1 general purpose lane in each direction and build a new interchange at Joe Mex. They are expected to go out to bid shortly and award a project. Once they have done that portion, we will bid out our job, and then they will be built at the same time to open together. So ours will be a new road that connects Vistancia Boulevard to the new interchange, 2 lanes in each direction, and a new traffic signal for that. But once again, until ADOT proceeds with their project, there's no point in us building something and waiting for the rest to open.
Is this at the alignment that is currently the Joe Mex alignment?
This is it's slightly north. This is what's been shown on the general plan for years, though. We haven't changed it. So
Is there a reason that it's farther north than the alignment currently?
I do not know the history of why it was set where it was set. I don't know if Andy knows the history.
I just believe, I think it's the distance it is from Happy Valley Road interchange, so it's a little bit further north, and it veers north because of Happy Valley probably going a little bit further north. They want to try and keep a mile between interchanges.
Oh,
so that's why they push it a little further north.
I see.
Thank you for the history. Team effort.
It's always nice when the answer makes sense.
Yes, it is. The next project we have is the Country Meadows Park improvements. You can see the renderings to the right. Those are of the brand new playground equipment, including many inclusive components and new surfacing. Besides those improvements, there is going to be an aeronasium, there's going to be new lights, LED lighting, very large shade structures over the playground area, botanical garden, place for a mural. There's some turf diet where we are reducing the turf and putting in some decomposed granite. This went through an extensive public process through Councilman Dunn's district, and I want to thank Neighborhood Services for helping us with that process. And our department worked really hard with the Parks Department to come up with some surveys to make sure that we understood what the citizens wanted. So that is complete. We were getting ready to pull the trigger when the COVID started, and we were not really sure the impacts to the construction industry. Some states stopped construction altogether. Our governor deemed it essential, so we kept going. We also noticed a big uptake in the park usage when this began and people were staying at home. So we were nervous about fencing off an entire park to do improvements when people needed that outlet for energy. So we will be rebidding it this summer, and then we will be coming to you in the fall with a new schedule as to when we can start construction.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
It's really a nice park.
The next one we have is Sonora Mountain Ranch Park improvements. This is a smaller project, but just as important to the neighborhood. And once again, we worked with Neighborhood Services, and we did a survey, and we had public meetings. And for their park, they decided their needs were to really expand the shade at the park. So they're taking the old shade canopies, they're putting it adjacent to the basketball courts to provide shade for people waiting for basketball and pickleball. And then we're adding some inclusive components to the playground. Their playground is in great shape, but we needed to add more inclusive elements. Like I talked about, we're learning more about it, and that's very important to the Parks Department to include everyone. They also wanted to have a soft surface walking path adjacent to the concrete path. We see that often that people don't want to run on the concrete, they want that extra little path. So this is going to be on the same trajectory where we will go out for bids in the end of summer, and then we'll let you know in the fall what the construction schedule is. We want to go ahead and order things like the shade canopies so that when we start work, we have all the equipment. We minimize the downtime on those parks. Landscape enhancement projects. These have been on the books for a while. This is very important to mayor and council to make sure that we reinvest in the neighborhoods that we have. So these are areas of the city where we maintain the right-of-way. These are areas that do not have HOAs. And through the years, we have not been able to keep up with the irrigation system failures. So therefore, the plantings disappear. So now that we have a very complex program, we have a good maintenance schedule, we know if we invest in this, we can maintain them to a certain level. So we went out for bid for these earlier in the year, and because construction was so busy, we did not have very many bidders. For some of the projects, we only had one bidder, and we felt that wasn't really a good test of the market. So we're going to go out and bid these out again at the end of summer, and then come forward with awarding these in the fall and let you know what the new schedule is.
Just a quick question. Councilmember Hunt? I don't know if this pertains to this, but the wall made me think of it. Are we still going to be able to move ahead with our wall painting throughout the city this year? Is there money for
Councilmember
that?
Hunt, that is in the Community Works program later. You're giving away my future slides.
I'm so sorry. I said I wasn't sure. so-
I know. It's very important, once again, for the same reasons, and it's those same areas where we maintain the landscaping that we also do the updates with the painting, because it is very important to make those areas look fresh and new.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing what it does for an area.
The New River Trail. If you are familiar with Peoria, you can get on the New River Trail at Northern Avenue, and you can ride your bicycle or run all the way up to Pinnacle Peak Road. You can also go south into Glendale and make it to the stadium. There's many options. We continue to make this a priority to expand this trail system. We have many users that are very, very happy to have that as an outlet and be able to recreate without traffic. So this project expands the trail from Pinnacle Peak to Happy Valley, where we were missing segments and we needed to realign some of the sharp curves. There is federal funding for this project, so as soon as we can finish with the easement acquisitions that we're working on, ADOT will administer the project. It will be a low bid project, and then they've administered other projects and do a very good job on trail projects for us. Next is, once again, inclusive playgrounds. This is at Rio Vista. Rio Vista is another one of our community parks that is heavily used, and it is time to replace that playground equipment. So once again, it will be inclusive in nature. It will also include new hardscape and much needed shade. So this project is 100% designed, currently going through review and permitting. We will rebid this out at the end of summer, and then we will come back and update you with what the schedule is, when it makes sense to have that park closed down, what the extent of that closure is, so that we can fulfill the commitment to replace these much needed resources.
So were you able to use your experts when you were designing this inclusive playground as well?
Yes, Parks and Rec, because they have always had their eye on the inclusivity, and then them participating through this process. They are doing a great job in making sure that we get different components that we need. And they also always like to provide something different at each playground, because once again, one child might like to be on a swing, so you take them to that park that is your favorite swing. Somebody else might like to climb, so you kind of, as a parent, find that park that fits the needs for your child. So they don't all look the same. It's always a unique experience to go kind of cruise through the different parks or read some of the blogs about them that are out there. Peoria always gets really good ratings in the blogs. Good. From a mother. Projects that are in design. Once again, COVID has touched design. In the center, you will see one of our project kickoff meetings, where we are nice socially distanced and outside, which is a nice change from being in a conference room. And then these are some of the setups for the people that we have been able to have work at home. We do have some people in the office, some people at home, and the inspectors in the field. The good news is because we have everything electronically for plan submittal, review, permitting, and payment, it has been a seamless transition for us to not have the counters open. I will say, looking at these pictures, that the pets are going to be very sad when these people return to work.
Yeah, they will.
The Pedestrian and Shade Initiative. This is going to be our pilot project that shows off what we can do when we combine man-made shade and tree shade. And the goal is to provide a very shaded area in high pedestrian activity zones near bus shelters that really provides this place for people to stop, have respite. If they need to check their phones, they will be able to see them in the shade. So this project is at 30% design. Construction should be later this summer. And then as we have this demonstration project done, and as we take the things we learned from the Shade Initiative and put them into the design guidelines for both planning and engineering, we will start to incorporate these into development and capital projects. So then it becomes not us coming back and doing all the work, but doing it as we go. It's similar to what we see with sustainability and other things. They start off as kind of a demonstration, and then they just become a part of how we do business. So that is our goal in the future. "67th Avenue, Pinnacle Peak to Happy Valley." This is 3 different projects. So this is the project to widen the roadway to 3 lanes in each direction, adding the bike lanes, ADA sidewalks, and street lighting. It is also that regional project that will take those flows coming from Phoenix, redirect them in storm drains under 67th, taking them to the river. And it includes a new 16-inch water line to provide a loop system in the area. So 3 very important projects. The DCR, which is the Design Concept Report, is currently underway. We are working with Phoenix and Glendale on that project. And we are working with the utility companies to identify any needs in the future. Because once that road is done, we do not want to cut it for something. So Glendale is anticipating they may have a large size water line that needs to go in before we get in there. So we need to work closely with them to find them the right place within our corridor and help them with that schedule to get that work done. You will also notice there's $7.8 million from the Flood Control District. Part of this being a regional storm drain project, they will be paying for half of those storm drain improvements, which is nice to see the partnership. Once the design concept is done, we will be repricing out the project to make sure that we will have enough money for these 3 projects. So once again, we'll be looking at what's happening with pricing and construction as we move forward. Renovation of the main library. Old Main, 100 years old. It's time to give it a little bit of an update. So we are really focusing on the interior with this project. The lobby, circulation, reference desk, we want to modernize that whole experience. We want to update the conference rooms and add a new conference room. People really like to utilize those conference rooms for many uses, and we need to be able to accommodate that. We also want to update the carpet and the finishes. We need to update the restrooms to be ADA compliant, long overdue and much appreciated. And the children's courtyard, you can see below a concept of what it could look like. Once again, outdoor space that we can program and use is very important to the library staff. They worked very closely with our project managers to make sure we deliver what they're expecting. So 100 years on the outside, brand new on the inside. That's what we're going for.
When will we do the outside then?
The outside of the building is going to look like it has.
Do you mean the children's courtyard area?
No, not that. That's wonderful. No, I meant the whole area that is adjacent to the library.
The campus behind?
Yeah.
Yes, originally, part of the plan was to do more with the overall outside of this footprint, to expand it into the campus, and even at some point look at how it connects to the Decades Walk and the amphitheater. Right. Unfortunately, because of funding and budgets, we have not had enough money to do the whole overall plan. So this is a scaled back version. So we talked to library staff, and they want to make sure what we do 100% correct. And then if we need to come back for that next phase when we're done, depending on what's going on with the different funding sources, we will look to you to see when we can fund that expansion. I know it's important to provide that area with more shade and better usability.
We had also talked about just the exterior, but it's the entryway.
We did. That also got left behind, I'm sorry to say. We can have a council report for you before summer break to provide additional information, if you would be interested in learning more about the progress we've made and the choices that have been talked about. So we can go further in depth with that before we get too far.
Okay.
Right now, the design is at 30%. Construction would be in this upcoming fiscal year. Old Town improvements. We introduced this project last year, and we were supposed to have already started work on it. Because of what's been happening with the interest in Old Town and with some changes with the Peoria Place circulation, we had postponed going out for a consultant until we had kind of finalized what was going on in those two areas. So now that we have some clearer direction, we are finalizing the scope. And this is to look at the 83rd Avenue streetscape as far as including pedestrian amenities, wider sidewalks, shade features, landscaping and signage, and also looking at Osuna Park and opportunities we may find there for some of that signage, shade, and making sure that we take care of any water, sewer, pedestrian connections that we need in the future. So this project will expand from Cotton Crossing and Whitney. We'll follow that all the way up to Monroe Street, Washington, up to Grand. So it's a long stretch of 83rd. We will scope out all the different parts that we could do through the design concept report, and then we will work with the executive team to figure out what are the main priorities for phase one, and then we'll move into the design for that phase. And then we have money for construction to get that completed.
Questions?
I do.
Councilmember Dunn?
I just wanted to, I know this was way back because it's a big topic. But on Country Meadows, originally we were scheduled to do that in the summer, and then you said we're gonna probably rebid in the summer? Is that, am I understanding that correct?
That is correct. So we got initial bids from our on-call contractor, but the bids are only good for 30 days. And so since we delayed the initial award because of the COVID, we now have to update those bid prices.
So is there like a, I don't know if I got, if we rebid in the summer, then what's the timeline that we're looking at?
Then we'll come to council for award, but as soon as we get those numbers, and then we will talk about what the schedule is. Whatever items that they need to order up front, they'll put that into the schedule, and they'll say we need X amount of time to order playground equipment, to order the shade structure, and then they can build the schedule around that. And then we go out and we actually build it with the least amount of time. We don't want to start building it and then we're waiting for things to be delivered. So we'll work with you as we get that finalized.
Okay, thank you.
Just best guess on completion date?
I don't know. We've talked extensively about how important it is to make sure that we have things, the park open over winter breaks. So trying to actually build it between winter break and spring break would be the ideal for us. I don't know how that's going to work for the community, so we would want to have further discussions about that.
So anticipated 2021, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
This is expansion for Jomax and Beardsley water reclamation facilities. Both of these projects are going to be entering design phase this year. So the Jomax facility in Vistancia has a two-phase expansion planned. The developer is building and designing the first phase, which is the 2.25 million gallons per day to 3 million gallons per day. We are doing the design for our expansion responsibility from 3 to 4.5 at the same time. The reason for this is once the design is complete, they will build their expansion. If at such time the commercial core has some activity and needs an expansion, we want to have that project be at 100% design and ready that we would be able to pull the trigger. We don't want to ever be the delaying factor for some incredible project to come to Peoria. So it was easy to do the design together. So we're working with Vistancia right now to start that design. Beardsley is 100% the city responsibility, and that expansion will go from 4 million gallons today to 4 million gallons today to 6 million gallons per day. So both of those will be starting design, and then there's various years shown for construction. new projects. Typically, yep.
I did have one more question before we went too far.
Go ahead.
There was another project that, I can't remember exactly who found the money, but on Butler Road, that was like a refresh in that area. I know you drove out there once. Is that still in here?
Councilmember Dunn, you, like Councilmember Hunt, are totally hijacking my presentation. That's in Community Works. So yes, it is something, because it was not an identified project that came up, we are covering it with the Community Works program.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay. I love your interest and enthusiasm. So usually when we get to new projects, this is for the entire 10-year CIP, and we highlight quite a variety of projects. Because of the current environment we're in, we aren't going to spend a lot of time going over the new projects that are in the CIP. But there are two very important ones that I want to highlight, and they both have major operating impacts. So where they exist in the CIP could obviously shift as we go forward. The first project is Fire Station number 8. We do know that at some point in the next 10 years, we need to have a fire station in North Peoria. Ideally, it would be located north of the CIP. This is really going to depend on where development happens. We have 3 different developers in the area building different infrastructure. Depending on where they're building that infrastructure and where we have the need, will kind of help guide us into the right location for that fire station. So we will be working closely with the fire department, with the budget, with the executive team to really find the right location. And of course with the developers, as they are very interested in having fire protection as they expand. We just are not clear where things are going with development. Once again, COVID has kind of changed the trajectory. We're still seeing a lot of activity, but we don't know what the future holds right now. The other project is at Paloma Community Park. Phase 2 has always been in there, it's still there. But I just wanted to also highlight that we have added the recreation center into the equation. So we do know that when you go into North Peoria, at some point we need to have balanced amenities for the whole city. So having a recreation center that is similar to Rio Vista, but also combining it with some of the programs we offer at the community center is what we're looking for. It's a multi-generational recreation center. So it's a very exciting prospect for all of us to see what that looks like when it comes to fruition. So right now we have that for design in fiscal year 24 and construction in 25. But once again, with that type of facility, there are operational impacts that come with it. So we'll really be working together with budget and with the departments to figure out the right time for that to come on board. But we wanted to know that we know it is a need in the north part of the community. Community Works program. Everybody's been waiting for it. This is one of the important programs that we have. We have a variety of programs, but this one really does touch a lot of needs that come up throughout the year. So, signing, striping, and traffic control. This year, we have really addressed a lot of 4-way stop intersections that for whatever reason, citizens are wanting to run the stop sign. So we've been working on different items with different council districts and drawing attention to those areas and trying to reduce the number of people running stop signs. The minor roadway improvements is where Councilmember Dunn had talked about the project at Butler and 114th Avenue. And that is doing some minor roadway work. It was a need that came up that was not funded through the CIP, but a need for a neighborhood we needed to address. So we're getting ready to start construction on that. Also, I wanted to highlight the new street lights. We are using that money this year to look at the street lighting in Old Town for the residential streets. So we're doing a lighting study that will help guide us into what type of improvements would be needed in the future. I also wanted to highlight 2 of the programs that we have. This is areas where we completed the Green Bike Lane program this year. This is the new program that was brought to us by council, as many programs are. We've seen it pop up throughout different cities in the valley and across the country. And we have focused on really trying to put it where it's needed, where vehicles, cars need to travel from the through lane and they need to cross the bike lane to get to a turn lane. We want to draw attention to the fact that there's a bicycle lane right there. So that's the area we're focused on. We know other communities have done green paint, which has faded, and that is not very sustainable to have Public Works out there all the time trying to update paint. So we use 2 different materials and we haven't really liked what we've gotten. So we're testing out some more in the next 2 projects. So listed is the areas that we've already touched. The next project that we're looking at is one in El Mirage in Vistancia, where they recently did a pavement rehab. And then this will also be part of the Happy Valley Bridge project. So once we can get that material identified that works for us in Public Works, then it can become a new engineering standard. And like other things, then we can just ask for it when we build roads, and it will become just part of what we do. And this is the wall painting. Last year, you asked us to increase the funding. Like I said, this is where there is no HOA, and we maintain the landscaping, and we've been able to go out and touch many, many walls throughout the neighborhoods. The locations are because of the council members. They help to guide us to the right locations. And when they run out of ideas, then we look to neighborhood services, and we see what ideas they have.
They'll never run out.
Exactly. We already have a wait list for next year. So it's good to see that programs benefit a wide variety of people throughout the city. And it's very important to all of us to continue those programs. So this is the Community Works program as identified for next year. Quick response, 120,000. Entry monuments, 80,000. The NTMP, which is the Neighborhood Traffic Management Program, speed humps, that's 60,000. The PED bike signing and striping, 65,000. Wall painting for 75,000. Streetlight infill for 50,000. Green bike lanes for 50,000. The neighborhood parks locking systems that Eric spoke of earlier, 300,000. The park and trail wayfinding signage for 100,000 that he also spoke of. And one that is very important is the quick response for the weed abatement and storm damage. Last year, we had many rain events, and Parks and Rec was able to get out there and Public Works and really clean up the right-of-way. And with all that rain becomes all those weeds. So having this extra funding really does help. It doesn't mean that they don't have to come back and ask for more in these very rainy seasons, but it does help us get us through those times.
And what is the quick response in the first row?
The quick response in the first one, that is like the project that we were doing in Councilmember Dunn's district. So that's more of a roadway construction type project.
For safety issues?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And we've made it to the finish line. If
Well
you have
done.
any questions whatsoever, I will do my best to answer.
Well done.
It's a tremendous amount of projects moving
Yes.
forward, keeping our city refreshed
Busy
and
people.
dealing with, keeping up with growth. It's really quite an accomplishment, and pretty big accomplishment that you just remembered all of them too.
Yeah, really.
I live it. I have dreams about it at night.
Dream it, eat it, sleep it.
Council, any questions or comments? Councilmember Dunn?
So one of the things in the beginning, we were talking about balance and amenities, throughout the city. You have the north, the south, and the mid part, like Rio Vista. And one of the things I noticed in talking about the different amenities, if we have it's Pioneer Park in the south, do we have a recreational center plan there?
At this time, we do not.
It's a community center?
It's the community
It's
center.
the community center.
Here, right here?
Right, it's not exactly
So
adjacent.
it's just kind of split?
It's for the south.
Okay,
yeah.
that makes sense.
But it meets all those criteria.
Thank you.
How'd those guys get back?
Do you guys have any questions? Oh, okay. I'm trying to keep up here. From Councilmember Edwards, it says for CIP number 119, is there a chance to move it up? It is slated for 6 years out. The traffic in the area is increasing.
I believe this is the 107th Avenue, Williams Road to Hatfield Road.
Yes.
Yes. So 107th Avenue, Williams to Hatfield Road, we are planning on doing a design concept report. We're finalizing the scope for that. That current road is one lane in each direction. North and south of there are bike lanes and sidewalks, but this is the missing link. So we will move forward with that. It is a very complex project because the county owns part of the right-of-way, state land owns part of the right-of-way, and we own part of the right-of-way. So as we go forward with those partners, we can work on a schedule and see if we can get some participation from the county to help us move that project forward. But once again, with the 10-year CIP, we will be working with budget and the executive team on priorities and where things land that makes sense for the overall city.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Councilmember Binsbacher?
Okay, so we talked about, this being a flat budget. And we go into this knowing all the things that we want to do, and there's no way that we can all get what we want during budget time. It never happens. But I have to say, in considering everything, the current COVID-19 situation and everything that we have been through, I am just amazed at all the hope in this presentation. And all of the emphasis on things that we are able to do, that we can do. And I hope that any of the citizens watching this, I hope there's citizens watching this and learning about this, can see how much their city cares and all of the things that are being done. And equally as important that staff realizes, just the magnitude of what has been presented today. And I know it's one step towards another, but this has just been a great presentation. And I just want to thank everyone for everything that they've put into this point. And I just am so pleased. It's just great. Thank you, all of you.
And I want to say that our capital improvement program is a 10-year program that is fully funded at this point. Now, we may have to make some adjustments as time goes on in the later years when we figure out more about what the economy is, how the economy is actually going to react to the pandemic. But it is not a wish list. It is a fully funded program that has projects for 10 years out. And that's pretty remarkable, actually. Not all cities have that. Some have 5 years, some have a wish list. This is not that. This is actual plans that we have for the future for our city, so that we can, for the long term, decide what we're going to build, decide how we're going to maintain, decide what we're going to do to make sure that we have equal amenities throughout. I mean, it is really a work of art. It is, and so I am very, very pleased with the budget and the CIP. I'm very happy with all of the projects that we have, and considering the economic issues that we've been through and that we still have yet to determine, it's pretty amazing, really. I'm just very happy that we can let our residents know that in spite of what's going on right now, the city is still in good shape. We will survive.
Not only survive, I think we thrive. This is just amazing. It really is. And all of you designated leaders, so to speak, go back and tell your people, because I know everyone in every department has put in something, some piece of paper, some numbers, some objective. They've done some writing for you. They've had a fingerprint on this project. And it's massive, and it's beautiful. It really is. It's so satisfying. You guys do this every year, but I think this is even the best. It's really amazing. So thank you. Thank you, thank you.
On that note,
did you have something, Councilmember
pass
Dunn?
it back to
Yeah, I just wanted to also reiterate that I think all of us council members, always want more for our citizens, but I do appreciate the attention to detail. I do appreciate the hard work that you put in, and also the willingness to, go back and forth, because, and I know it's kind of an evolving project, on some of these things, but thank you for the good communication, and the presentation was very thorough, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comments from our electronic council members?
How does it feel to have an all-woman council?
I concur.
I concur. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys very much. I know we might have to come back at a later date and make adjustments as time goes on, but we promise to be open to those kinds of things.
Great. Mayor, if you'd like, so yes, that does complete our presentation of the fiscal year 21 budget. It is a balanced budget. There is identified revenue for every single item that is in there. Out of the many dozens of funds that we have worked very hard to make that a reality. We did have one last item. If you are interested, we have sometime, if you'd like to look quickly at just a glimpse of one of those funds, the general fund, and our initial kind of longer-term forecast of that, just so that you have a sense of that as we go forward here in the next couple of months. So if we can, we just wanted to show you just one of the structural issues that we're going to be looking at as a result of the newest economic numbers that we have. And then, but then again, just to be aware, we don't anticipate that there will be a change in the budget that you see forward. We'll look closely at the 10-year capital plan and make sure that it is aligned. So if you'll indulge us, we just have a few minutes just to go through that.
Please.
I'll pass that over to Andy Granger and Barry Haug to just go through that piece.
Thank you, Jeff. And I think I want to add the CIP funding is really separate from operating. And it's important to note because you do see a lot of projects still going forward, and people might wonder why that is. And a lot of the revenues that we get for our CIP, they're kind of restricted to really a capital program. We can't really use those in operating. A lot of them are one-time. So make that distinction as we kind of show you some of these new slides, which is really looking at our operating forecast. So now that we have reviewed the FY21 budget, let's take a look at the expenditure side of the current forecast. And this includes what we talked about in the 21 budget. And as we look out in the future years, you can see that there's moderate expenditure growth planned. It's about 2.9% per year. And most of that reflects increases in our personnel costs. As mentioned earlier, we haven't taken out any of the compensation increases in the forecast, as we will monitor the revenues and come back with that recommended expenditure adjustment as needed. It also includes increases for our retirement and health benefits. For fiscal year 21, the health increase was about 2.4%, and our retirement cost to the city is about 4% on average. And lastly, it includes, as Adina mentioned, the operating impacts of the CIP. And the good example was the Paloma Community Park Phase 2 operations, and our maintenance program for our trails and streets programs. But next we'll add on the projected revenues. We wanted to start by showing you what the forecast had looked like a couple months ago. So here it is, the forecast that we had used before COVID-19 pandemic. This was a balanced budget with no structural deficit. When we do these forecasts, we build them to handle those ups and downs in revenues related to normal economic conditions. So you could see up and downs, and we can adjust for those pretty easily, I would say. But when something significant like this happens, like a shutdown of the nation's economy, it paints a different picture. So with this pandemic, we adjusted the revenues based on what we know so far. So it's quite a different picture, but remember, this is a point-in-time projection of revenues. And as we get more information about the impacts of the pandemic, we will be updating this forecast. As Sonia mentioned a couple of weeks ago in the economic update, we are estimating reductions in our sales tax area of about 15% for fiscal year 21, with the comeback in the following 2 years. The overall general fund reduction in FY21 would be lowered by 5% compared to fiscal year 20, then growing gradually about 2.6 or 3.9% for the following years. So it's important to note this is a snapshot, but it gives us a picture of what may happen, and even more importantly, it gives us time. It gives us time to make adjustments to both revenues and expenditures by looking at this as a long-term perspective. So we'll discuss shortly some options on how we might address this issue, but first I want to show visually why we can't just use our reserves to cover this problem. So on the right side, we have our reserves. It's the City of Peoria's reserves for general fund, about $45 million. And that's really good news. That's great news we have that. It will help us stabilize in times like this, but you don't want to use them all at once. So if we use them to bridge the gap in year 1, you could see we can get that to 0. And as we go through year 2 and potentially year 3, As you can see, after filling the gap with reserves and not doing any other adjustments, we end up depleting them and not really have fixed the issue. So we still have a long-term structural deficit, and this would not be consistent with our fiscal policies. As we said earlier, the reserves will help us stabilize and give us time to make those adjustments in both revenues and expenditures. And so I'd like to turn it back to our city manager to go through our next steps.
Yeah, so just to make sure what we're looking at here, we're not looking that we have to tap into those reserves yet. We have one-time balance above those reserves. We have obviously slowed down our expected expenditures for this year. We're holding off on different staffing things. There's a number of different things already that we have time that is built in, which is exactly what we need in these pieces. This is important. All of these items are forecasts and they are manageable. We are going to have the time to be able to fix these things, and we work really well in an organization when we come to this. And we'll show some of the tools that we have available to us. But keep in mind that this all allows us, because of the thoughtful financial policies we have, we can take a measured strategic approach as we go through this. And that is very important. That's why you don't see us making those strong reactions, needing to do furloughs, other dramatic activities like that. There is no indication that we see that we are going to be impacting our core services as we go forward. And I think that is very important for our community to hear. These are manageable issues, and we will maintain our core services. And we're doing that with an assumption of no change to our tax rates, no change to our sales tax or our property tax rate. And I think it's important to recognize that Peoria's community is incredibly sound. We have an economically diverse base that is growing, a very vibrant community, and you have an organization that is creative and professional and works within its means. So when we look at these, they can seem ominous, but this is just one complexion of one of our funds that we're going to have to deal with. But that's what we do. We deal with our issues. We take them on and address them. And the way we do that is we do that by addressing it early and often. And so you will be seeing us again over the next couple of months. We have, as we talked about, a few steps that we've already done in fiscal year 20. We're holding off. Any new hires have to go through the city manager's office to fill those vacancies. A number of different prudent spending measures, of which all of your directors have already taken that on, and it's really worked effectively already. We had talked tonight about the revised 21 budget, of which you saw a baseline budget and only those essential supplements. There's a number of other tools as we go forward. We're going to be reaching out to you often here in the next couple months included to give you the latest on what we're seeing for revenue estimates. As our CFO, Sonia Andrews, brought up last time, what does this recovery look like? And that it will be important to us as we see it as a V, a U, a Nike swoosh, or a square root. Whatever those are, how that economy recovers is what's most important for us, because we have the time to weather the short term on that. A number of other actions that we'll look at, because it's important for us to limit the growth in our costs. And that's why we're saying we know these issues are manageable, because we have time to figure these out. But one of the things we have to look at, as Mr. Haug, our Assistant Finance Director, had mentioned, was that we really need to look at stemming the growth of our costs. That will really help us address the issue. And then we'll look very closely at all of our programs, what all of those specific services are, roughly what they cost, and do we have the right service level. That works very well when we can be strategic about that. And that's worked well for us when we've gone through prior downturns, including the Great Recession on that. So you'll see that we are going to be developing a number of what we call strategic plans to help us make informed decisions, and we'll be reaching out to you as we do that. These are just some of the potential balancing strategies. We don't know which ones we'll need to apply, but know that we have a number of tools in the toolbox that we can go through. Again, we'll look closely at vacant positions. We'll look making sure that we have the right compensation assumptions that are in there and any adjustments that are necessary to limit the growth on those. We'll look very closely at other ways that we can utilize attrition in our positions, and that ties well with what we do with strategic service discussions. So if we have to make the hard calls, we'll tie it with the personnel that we have. We'll look very closely. Sometimes some of the services you saw tonight, they benefit an individual more than the general taxpayer. We have to look closely at that. Should we be charging more a fee for a specific user where the general taxpayer shouldn't be subsidizing that? And there are some opportunities there. So we'll look at those as potential opportunities. Looking very closely at things like our asset replacement. very carefully not to do anything that shoots us in the foot, but we have really, really quality vehicles and equipment in the city. If we have to look at deferrals of some of that equipment in the replacement life for a year or two, it actually generates ongoing revenue for us. So that is something that we have available to us. And then we'll look at different ways that we can provide service. All options are available to us, is how we deliver those services will be there. And then as Mr. Haugen mentioned, we'll look closely at the assumptions that we had, including in the forecast that you saw. That included the operating impacts of the capital plan, such things that have a tail to it, whether it's recreation centers or such. If we have to adjust that, that also helps our bottom line. So there are a number of tools that are available to us. So with that, that's pretty much all I had. Wanted to just give you a quick update of what we're seeing right now. But know that, again, the balanced budget that you had is exactly that. It is about hope. It is about opportunity, and we are able to provide those to our residents going forward. So thank you.
I have to say, I was a little afraid when we started the forecast, but we ended up with even more hope. So I'm really pleased that we have all of those different strategies that we can put into effect and things that we can work with depending on what the economy does to us. So it's good to know we have options moving forward.
I should mention, I apologize. Just remind me of this last slide. So there's a few steps that our city council has to go through to formally adopt a budget. If you're not aware that there are formal steps that you have to adopt an annual budget. One of those is to have the capital plan approved. The next is what's called the tentative budget. That sets the maximum appropriation in a given year. After that, we're not able to increase that amount. Then we go through a series of other steps like the truth in taxation, property tax agreement, and the final budget. These are largely more formal steps. Much of the scrutiny has been done over the last few months, so don't worry, this will be much easier steps for you as we do that. With that, I do have any other questions I can take on. That should be the end of my presentation.
That's it, huh? Council, are there any other questions or comments? Okay, well, I think that we've covered a lot of ground here. And I appreciate all the work, again, that all of the directors have done and all of the deputy city managers and the city manager. And I appreciate that we are going to be able to continue to deliver core services and the finest core services for our residents. So I can see you guys now. You come and go for me. So now that I see you again, is there anything you guys want to say, add? Are you finished? Okay. All right. Thank you. All right then. With that, we are adjourned.